Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
Man down. Man down. Look, I'm not saying you can win or lose an offseason, but the Dolphins definitely aren't winning this offseason. There's the whole Tua Tagovailoa contract situation. Training camp starts Wednesday, and now we have one less person that will be making his way to training camp. It was announced last night, the retirement of linebacker and two-time Super Bowl champion Shaq Barrett. Bradley Chubb out. Now you got to rely basically on two rookies as edge rushers, Mo Kamara and our first-round pick, Chop Robinson. Vlad, is this one of those seasons, by the way, I'm Dan Day with my cousin Vladimir Louison. Vlad, is this one of those seasons that looks a little snake-bit right now? Like things trending in the wrong direction for the Dolphins. Are you a little nervous?
I mean, I'm not nervous. I'm not a fan of the Dolphins, but what I would say is
I would say
listen,
it's not good.
You did a lot of veteran minimum contracts to shore up a defensive line because you lost Christian Wilkins, you lost Van Ginkel, right?
Yes,
he went to Minnesota. You lost some players on the line. You drafted, but they're unproven. Shaq Barrett is a vet, two-time champion, former Pro Bowler. He said he wanted to be still in the state of Florida so he could be close to his family. He was let go by the Buccaneers.
He's had a bunch of double-digit sack seasons.
Right. So getting the vets was to me was some I thought was really good moves that Chris Greer did because instead of giving money to one player or two players, you're spreading that money to shore up the line to give depth. But now that Shaq is retired and Chubb and Phillips, as we already knew, were going to be on the PUP list.
Yeah.
Now you're putting a lot of pressure on the rookies. Now you're putting a lot of pressure on Chop Robinson and Muhammad Kamara.
Or maybe no pressure at all.
How you figure that?
Because nobody's behind them. They can go.
Because at least you had the D-line. You added Calais Campbell for the vet, but he's not playing full game. He can give you only 15 to 25 snaps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a big problem. There's obviously free agents that's still available that's going to be out there. Somebody's might be cut later on during training camp or final cuts that you may be able to add someone. But if you're going into training camp right now and then like 4 days before training camp begins and to find out that a vet like Shaq Barrett decide to retire, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that is a tough one right there. And you'd figure the Dolphins had kind of piecemealed it together for the edge rushers and just hopes that they can hold up until you get Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb back and, people get healthy. But now it's a major piece that is out there right now. And, of course, you're not going to get him in his prime days when he had 19 and a half sacks. But at the same time, Shaq Barrett was going to have some veteran leadership, was going to give you some good snaps, was going to give you a presence on that edge. And now, none of that. So back to the drawing board, not exactly back to the drawing board, but now you got to rely heavily on two rookies that have never taken a snap in the NFL. So get ready for training camp. They're going to wear you out in training camp, Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara. But like I said, maybe they play free. There's not like a whole lot of people coming behind them. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they can't be playing free. They gotta pick up that defense immediately.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is there's not so much like you make a mistake, we're pulling you out of there. It's more like, okay.
Well, that's because they don't have anybody, but
right.
maybe they didn't want to put them out there immediately. Maybe they wanted them to be on the sideline and learn from these guys at first, and then implement them into the scheme a little bit more. But after they gained some NFL experience, but now you don't have that vet. And that was the other thing. He's a vet. He can teach those kids.
Right. Well, now it looks like Tua, Tyreek, OBJ, Jalen Waddle.
My fear is that this turns into the late 80s, early 90s Dolphins.
Start warming up that offense.
Where it's it's going to have to be a shootout every day.
You might, especially early in the season, Vlad, we might have to go high scores, 30s, 40s, maybe even a 50 burger here and there. It looks like it could be shaping up like that at least for the beginning of the season. You got the new defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. You got to expect there's going to have to be some growth with that. Can't just simulate it in training camp and preseason. It has to be real game experience. Going to be interesting. Going to be fun. We're going to look at some of the options that the Dolphins have to pick up now that they do not have Shaq Barrett coming to the team in the next segment. But right now we have to get to the headlines. Of course, I did tell you two-time Super Bowl champion linebacker Shaq Barrett. He did it with the Broncos. He did it with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He has retired. He had signed that one-year deal with Dolphins. He leaves rookie Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara as the healthy edge rushers on the team right now. You know, Cameron Good also on the PUP list. He's on the PUP list. So Jalen Phillips, Cameron Good, and Bradley Chubb on the PUP list. Ugh. Glad you called it yesterday. Team USA would beat South Sudan. And you were right.
I was wrong.
They won.
I was wrong.
LeBron James makes a layup with 8 seconds left.
I was completely wrong. Listen, I didn't. First of all, let me apologize to the South Sudan national team. Didn't know that all the players played college basketball, Division I. Didn't know Luol Deng was the head of the South Sudan national basketball team. And shout out to Royal Ivy, former Texan Longhorn who played who had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Definitely had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Might have been like 5-6 years. So they have talent. And what's his name? The center, Wayman Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
They played very well. Guy had a triple-double.
I told you he's a good player.
Guy had triple-double. Their little guard who plays for the Chicago Bulls G League.
Was the guy that hit the three?
No, not Thor. Thor plays for the Hornets, but there was a guy that had a triple-double for the South Sudan team.
Man.
But as much as I want to, you know, I'm not worried about it. It's like whatever. They were missing shots. Let me tell you, this is how I knew it was bad, right? Not bad this was terrible, but Steph Curry missed 3 wide open 3-point shots, and LeBron was like, all right, I'm just gonna take over. That's the beauty about the U.S. team. It's that, all right, I'm gonna give you. LeBron's gonna dictate everything.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, if you hit, and I'm gonna keep giving you the ball. And we also forgetting that there's a 7-footer who hasn't touched the court yet.
Kevin Durant.
Yes. I'm not worried about the U.S. team.
No, not worried. Just
but I was wrong.
It took LeBron.
I thought they were gonna get mollywopped. I thought, they would. This easy. Now you're interested now in the group play because they're gonna face each other now.
Yeah, South Sudan, Puerto Rico, and
Serbia. And the Serbs got good news.
That Jovic could be playing.
Yes,
could be. Don't know yet. The Heat say that he has a sprain on his ankle. There's other reports it's a fracture. We'll see if he plays in the Olympics or not. Nonetheless, LeBron James, 8 seconds left on the clock, gets a layup. They defeat South Sudan 101-100. Bam Adebayo had 4 points. One more international quote-unquote friendly warm-up before the Olympics. Tomorrow, Germany, 3:00.
They're in London now.
Yes.
Right? That's a lot of traveling these guys went to do. They went from Vegas to Abu Dhabi, now to London, then go to Paris.
And they're jumping across the channel and going to Paris. And it's a long tournament. Like we said, it usually starts maybe the day before the opening ceremony.
They start Sunday. So
they are going to start, after the opening ceremonies. And
opening ceremonies, like you were right, it's this Friday night.
And then basically, if you make it to the gold medal game, it's the last day of
It's the last Sunday.
Olympic.
It's the last day of the Olympic competition.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on the other side. The women's team USA lost 117-109 to the WNBA All-Stars last night.
Yeah, that's another dream team right there. You're playing, you know what I mean? Like the women's team is playing against themselves, like literally
the junior team,
or whatever. Yeah, but the junior team, but a young team because you had Angel, you had Caitlin. It was good. It was a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was fun too.
I didn't watch it though.
WNBA is looking to expand their 40-game season to 44 games next year. Why not?
More money,
more eyes than ever. The CBA allows them to have a maximum of 44 games. And they're saying that when the new contract comes up,
smart. 22 games at home, 22 games on the road.
They said it could keep expanding. If the sport continues to expand,
you're going to expand teams. There's going to be teams. That's
the
thing. They're probably looking at the markets right now that they can put a team in and see if they can grow. Let me ask you this, Kuzin. Is it better for them to get a team that's already in the NBA, than just have a team that's already in the NBA have a WNBA team?
To couple them,
Right. Or the city that it already has it, or do you go to a whole new city that has no maybe professional team other than that WNBA team?
I think you do the research and you find out
Do you
what
go like
city.
OKC?
Right. I think you go just do some research and you find out the best city, the best situation. I don't think you should be tied to having to couple it with an NBA team. I think if there's a city like, I don't know, Kansas City, where you find out that there's much interest for it, then you do it there. I don't know. I think just the best city available that you can get the most, viewership and fandom.
I'm
So,
wondering if Miami.
didn't work the first time.
I know it didn't work with the Soul, but what if it's different now?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of interest if there's a WNBA team in Miami. And that's just me being honest.
That's crazy.
I could be wrong.
Considering there's I thought the Continent Crew would go out there and support.
The Continent Crew.
The Continent Crew.
I don't know what that means.
You do.
Okay. I just don't see. I could be wrong. I don't gauge a lot of interest for the WNBA in Miami. Once again, Miami has so much going on. We talked about it yesterday. Had about 1 billion things to do. The landscape is already so full. Let's be honest. People are late arriving to Heat games, Dolphins games when they're winning, selling out.
The reason why I say that, and I'm going to try to explain it like clear and concise, is that I felt like towards the beginning of the WNBA when it started, they were targeting, when I say the Continent Crew, the LGBTQ plus community,
they
and
were
stuff like that, and they were. And you have to look at cities where there's it's welcoming, like New York City, Los Angeles, Miami as well, But I think the eyes are now is that families and men are watching the WNBA right now.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe Miami might be considered. Maybe Orlando might be considered. Just have a team in the state of Florida because of the popularity. And there's some really good lady basketball players in the state of Florida, girls that are getting scholarships. There's some real good ballers out here. So
no, we're gonna see the league is definitely expanding. At least it looks like for a while.
I'm just trying to figure out, are they gonna try to do the marriage with the NBA? You already have the arena and stuff like that, and the faculties,
organization,
the facilities and all of that. Yeah. Or do you go to because Vegas didn't have an NBA team, and look at the popularity of that team. They're the 2-time defending champs trying to three-peat. Do they just put, do you go to, like you said, Kansas City, the same way OKC is the only team in the
only show in town
in Oklahoma City?
For that, yeah,
right.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but it is coming. And don't worry, the NBA is also going to expand. I'm thinking they're waiting for LeBron James to retire, and they're going to give him
they have a team in Vegas,
and LeBron James is going to be one of the owners. I mean, that's pretty easy to see. And if you think I'm wrong, give me some time. You'll see. I love this, Vlad. 4-star cornerback Jabari Antoine has signed with the U with the signing of the new Iberia, Louisiana prep star. Miami is now the 9th ranked recruiting class for 2025.
What's his name?
His name is Jabari Antoine.
He's Creole.
Jaboree. Antoine.
He's Creole.
Yeah, of course. From New Iberia, Louisiana. It's a small little town.
He's Creole.
If you're listening in Louisiana, it's the Berry, as they like to call it.
Yeah, all right, relax, 561. WNBA is not more fun to watch than the prima donnas that play NBA. Relax. Relax.
Let's talk about the NBA. The Heat enter the Final Four Summer League tournament today as they face the Warriors at 4. If they win, they play tomorrow night in the championship. Get that banner ready, baby.
I know you're not saying that.
I'm joking. I'm 100% joking. Although I will give the Pelicans credit. They went over in the summer leagues. I mean,
both California and Oh, wow.
I'm not hurt. I'm not nervous. At the same time, give me something, like it is kind of cool to have the Heat winning a lot of games, watching Khalil Ware, Pelle Larson, play well, show some talent. It's a little exciting. You feel a little bit better with the win than your team just offering it, meaning that, oh, God. So nonetheless, we'll talk about it. The Heat, they do enter that game. Inter Miami, hey, our dude Daniel Solana told us yesterday, I expect a 2-0 victory. Well, he's close. It was 2-1. Matias Rojas scored early, and Jordi Alba scored late as Inter Miami defeated the Chicago Fire 2-1. Next up, Leagues Cup group game against Puebla Saturday at 8. no favors done to Inter Miami in this League's Cup. They got Puebla and Tigres, two of the better teams in League MX. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Still hoping that they can get through. So far, no Messi, no problem. Once again, I think every win they get buys them more time to rest Messi, which is good news.
That's all you need to do.
For us. Now, if you're an opposing team and Inter Miami's coming to town,
hey, tough, man.
maybe, I wouldn't give you a refund. Like the Chicago Fire said,
nah, here's the thing.
I'm not refunding you.
How much did you charge him? That's the question. What was the price prior to Messi arriving today?
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
I know. Do like, what was it, Charlotte or somebody did, like free concessions to everyone under 18 or something like that?
No, it was a team in Canada. It was like Vancouver.
Oh, it was Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver.
That's a little bit better. They still pack the stadium. You still get Busquets. You get Jordi Alba. You still get to see Tata Martino.
Like I said, people just want to say that, oh, we got a chance to see him play.
Right. I don't know. Rodri, you got to feel bad for Rodri Munoz. Yesterday, he pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Not enough. The Marlins lost 1-0 to the Mets. Venezuelan Heritage Day. Once again, and our doo-doo Nathan tells you, pack the stadium. I don't know, not that it was packed, but pack the stadium, get people there, and then give them nothing to cheer about. 0 runs.
Yeah, 1-0 is not. That wasn't exciting. It might have been. It was a great pitching performance by both teams, but yeah. They want to see some action.
Game 3 of their 4-game series starts today at 1:40. The bullpen, once again, lights out. I'm telling you, if we could get some run support and decent starting pitching, this team would actually be good, but maybe a little too little too late. I don't want to go off because they might reel off 30 in a row like the A's did a couple decades ago or whatever, but still. Australia's Oscar Piastri won F1's Hungarian Grand Prix. It is his first F1.
Yeah, his man's let him win.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Lando. He just let him win. He conceded the lead spot and let his McLaren
right, they're both McLaren racers.
Yeah, so he let his McLaren's boy win.
Max Verstappen had a lead for a little while, but then
MVS is chilling, dog.
Well, he got lifted off the ground, almost wrecked his car, so that kind of threw him off a little bit.
He's done so, bro. He won the title a long time ago. He's chilling.
Ain't worried.
How many more races are still?
It just seems like every week I wake up to another race.
Yeah,
all I do is watch the Open Championship, F1 racing today, and live stream from Reggae Sumfest, which I've been watching for about an hour now. But yeah. Oh, let's get to the leaderboard update real quick. Golf leaderboard update of the Open Championship brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Get there. Over there in Great Britain, not a very easy tournament. It looks like Xander
Schauffele.
Yeah, he is on the
lead. 7 under.
1 stroke ahead of Thriston Lawrence.
Thriston Lawrence. Where's he from?
Thriston Lawrence is from South Africa.
Okay. And Justin Rose is 3rd. He's
from England.
He's also he's 2 strokes back.
Billy Horschel began the day. He is now 3 strokes back.
Yeah, what was he? 7 under starting the day, and now he's
been
plus
even
3.
Today. No, he was.
Oh, he's even.
He's even today.
Oh, so wait, he started
at -4.
Oh, so
4 under, as they say.
So Schauffele's been.
Schauffele's 4 under today. Yeah, so some movement
in the
on
final round to shoot 4 under.
Well, so far through 13.
You still got what 4 more holes to go. 14, 15. Yeah, 5 more holes.
5 more holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to keep you posted on all of that. Oh, South Africa. I've always wanted to go to South Africa, and I think I booked a trip.
I just want Charlize Theron. That's it.
Okay.
I just want to see. Nice. Yeah, that's the only reason why we go to South Africa.
I had booked a trip, but COVID shut me down. That and Morocco. But, it happens. Dang. Speaking of happening, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. I don't know if you've seen this online, Vlad. It's gone viral. Influencer Isaiah Graza. He posted a video on Instagram gifting a homeless woman of 10 years an apartment.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's great. But I mean, like, hey, if you're handing out apartments, come on.
Have you been homeless for 10 years?
I've been in and out of the home for a while, and maybe by the end of the day I could be homeless again. So let's see. But we'll see. I'm just saying, if you're handing out apartments, I'm not saying she's not worthy. I'm just saying if you're handing out apartments.
Gotcha.
But you don't know where the apartment was. I didn't see where the apartment was. And
yeah. Make sure it's not like Section 8 apartment, bro.
I'm not fancy. I'm not fancy. What will the Dolphins do now that Shaq Barrett has retired? There are some options, or at least there's some possible options out there. We're going to look at them and see if there's hope or despair for the Miami Dolphins edge rushers. Next on Sports Day 560 WQAM. My favorite Lil Wayne song right here. John. You know you got a good song. You just name it a generic name, John. I know why.
John Doe.
I know why it's named John because of John Lennon. But what a jam. Rick Ross is on that one too. All right, nonetheless, I did not see this coming. I did not see Shaq Barrett retiring. I thought Shaq Barrett was going to give us one good year. He signed the contract, staying close to his family. You know, they're still in Tampa. He'd even talked about it. Like, I really wanted to play in Miami for a couple of reasons. I like the scheme, but also I want to be close to my family, and they're just right across the state. Although 1 year, that's all we really need. Get Jalen Phillips back, Bradley Chubb back, get this defense going. He has a solid one last year, makes a little money, stays close to his family, and we're good. Well, that's not happening because he retired last night. I did not see that coming. I don't think anyone really saw it coming. Now you got to start looking, Vlad.
We left here yesterday. I'm like, and then, you know, you look in the news and then I hear Adam Schefter. I see Adam Schefter tweet that Shaq Barrett has decided to retire. And I'm like, yeesh, first of all, why didn't he do it like a couple hours earlier when we were on the air?
No, I don't want us to break that.
Yeah, you know, but it's all right. We were gonna talk about it today.
Yeah.
And second, it's like, wow, bro, like literally 3-4 days before training camp begins. And I'm trying to figure out, I mean, Kuzan, we all know that if you start mentioning retirement, you're already retired. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start thinking about retirement or mention the word retire, once you say the word retirement, then you're already thinking about it. You're already retired.
Especially if you're
there's just certain ways of saying it, but once you say that, once I finally hear the R word, like retirement, then I know it's done. So he's been saying it for a couple of years now, and it seemed like maybe he wants to play, but he might not want to go through all the dealings of training camp and the whole nine. So it was like, you know what, I already had one foot out the door. Let me just get out of it and just save everybody the trouble.
Yeah, that's probably obviously like I'll give it one more go, and then it gets closer and closer to training camp, and you're like, I don't know about that.
Right. And if you're really about the family, the kids are about to go to school soon.
Yeah, it's too much. Okay, so Shaq Barrett's gone. Can we get anybody to replace him? There's a couple of guys out there that have been listed. First up, formerly of New England, Matt Judon. Of course, this would require relatively large financial hurdles.
Judon's going to want money.
That's the problem.
Judon's going to want money because he's been a very, very, very good player in this league for a long time. I think maybe the Patriots were going, obviously they want to go younger. They got a new head coach, so they let him go. But Judon is he's going to be one of those guys. If he's not signed early, he's going to be one of those middle of the season acquisitions, like how Ndamukong Suh was acting, and Mario Williams, those type of guys, Dwight Freeney, where they don't want to go through the hassle of going through training camp and everything. They keep themselves in shape and they're ready to go during the middle of the season.
He's 31 years old and he's just 2 years removed from 15.5 sack seasons. So he is a good option as far as talent. Just the price tag probably going to be a little too high for the Dolphins. Now, one of the guys everyone seems to be talking about, former defensive end of the New York Jets, Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson. He's been banged up. He's been banged up. He's been banged up.
6 games last year. Did you like him?
But most of those 6 games weren't because of injury. Not all of it was because of injuries. It was because of there was just guys better than him. Jermaine Johnson stepped up, and you had also the guy that went to Philadelphia, Bryce Hall. So that's why Lawson. But the year prior, he had gotten hurt. He's been hurt. He was hurt throughout his career with the Jets. But I mean, maybe a different scheme, different team may help him. But I would definitely give him a call to see what's up with him.
So he does have some talent, but he has been bitten by the injury bug. A lot of people are listing him as a possibility for that reason, because they're thinking they could maybe get him on the cheap 1-year prove-it deal, which could be worth taking a flyer on if you can get him for the right. I mean, of course, anybody for the right price, but a guy that does have talent, a guy that has had some injury issues, maybe you can get him on that 1-year prove-it deal and see how it goes. Here's another name, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, Tyus Bowser. He was released as a cap casualty, which, Whenever you hear a cap casualty, that means, oh, they're going to ask for a lot. He didn't play last season because of a knee injury. Has appeared in 9 games since the start of the 2022 season. Once again, maybe one of those guys value a 1 year, stay healthy, prove it deal. Sign him to the minimum and see how it goes. Still got some talent. Tyus Bowser, though, another option. And, Baltimore Ravens, and we know there's a little bit of familiarity right there, although he didn't play last year with Anthony Weaver, but the whole system, that could be another option. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, do you like the options of maybe bringing some guys back that know the Dolphins organization, Vlad?
Like who?
Like Melvin Ingram. Appeared in 20 games.
What team was he on last year?
San Diego Chargers. Oh, San Diego Chargers.
No,
he was picked by the San Diego Chargers. He was playing with.
I feel like he played for the Chiefs for a little bit.
He was a free agent for most of last season.
Right.
So he didn't make much of a splash.
Wait, no, he came. No, didn't he come on towards the end of last year for the Dolphins?
I think
when
they did sign him, yeah.
when the linebacker Baker got hurt, didn't he come in? Or maybe it was a year prior.
No. That was the year prior.
It was the year prior. Okay.
So he knows the role. Maybe
I don't know if he knows the role because this is a new. Remember, this is the other thing I was mentioning.
It's all different.
There's a third defensive coordinator in 3 years. So this is a third. This is a whole new scheme. So if you've been part of that Dolphins defense for the last 3 years, this is the third defensive coordinator you're going through. That's something to think about.
The other bring him back, Emmanuel Ogbah. Things didn't end so well, but maybe you figure he was
nasty work. You cut him.
And that's
and then now you got to resign him. You might have to bring him back.
You really might. Like, we need you. You maybe need us. Let bygones be bygones.
Listen, Zeke went back to Dallas. Why can't Ogbah go back? To Miami.
I don't 100% hate the idea of it. If it's if we can get past everything and let it all go, maybe. Emmanuel Ogbah looking more and more like maybe that would be an option. And we know he's pretty decent, and maybe he was just in the doghouse like a lot of other players were, and. It might be a little weird, though. That's all I can say. Might be a little weird, but Emmanuel Ogbah, another interesting situation. They released him just a few months ago in March. The relationship didn't end on great terms. Bad feelings on both sides, but it's Anthony Weaver. Like you said, Vlad, that's what makes it so interesting. It's a new coaching staff on the defensive end, so maybe they can come in and say, hey, look, you got that wrong. You didn't get played right. I know it kind of is nasty, but let's reconcile. Let's do this. It's best for both of us. Get right back there in the mix. Some of the guys that are on the line with you. Try to figure it out. Emmanuel Ogbah. So far, that sounds like a reasonable reach for the Miami Dolphins.
But my question is this: if you're going to go after defensive lineman, pass rusher, can you get anybody that's not over the age of 30 or above?
That's the problem.
Can you get somebody who's like maybe 27, 28, 29 that maybe give you 2 more years? Even if it's a 1 year show and prove deal. But if they do show and prove, you can give them a 2-3 year deal extension afterwards, something to that effect. Because when you're mentioning Carl Lawson, you 31, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Rap City for
31.
Him. Well, Rap City for him with the injuries.
Here's
Emmanuel Ogbah. How old is he?
Emmanuel Ogbah, I thought he was younger. We can check right quick.
I mean,
I think
things are doctored.
Let's see. He's 30. Okay.
All right. Well, man. Yeah.
Oh, but I'm glad you bring up a 29-year-old and talking about bringing him back. Maybe not the most popular person to bring back, but maybe you have no other options. Charles Harris.
Ew.
Come on. He's 29.
Ooh.
Didn't go so well the first go-around here in Miami. Beggars can't be choosers. He's got to get healthy.
Well, then that's the other thing. Everybody that you're mentioning has health issues, and the Dolphins have health issues as of right now going into the training camp.
It's looking less optimistic and more pessimistic as we look at these guys, and we just got to really hope that Chop Robinson is a first-round pick like we picked him. You liked Mo Kamara over there at Colorado State, hoping he could do some big things. He's a 5th-round pick, but maybe he's a steal. You hold up the wall until...
See, Cap for Life just put something right now on YouTube, and if you're watching on Twitch, thank you all.
Yeah.
Cat for Life says the Dolphins got 7 guys over 30 years old on its roster. Now, this is the problem to me. If you were the Dolphins are a playoff contending team.
Yes.
Are they a Super Bowl contending team?
As of now, in my heart of hearts, with all honesty, Vlad, stepping aside from my fandom and just looking at this team, no.
Okay. To me, when you have 7 guys on a how many people on a 53-man roster, right? It's a 53-man roster. When you have 7 guys in a 53-man roster, and they're going to play minutes.
Oh, major.
That to me means you're on the verge of winning a championship, and you adding these vets to get you above that, get you towards that goal. But you guys don't have depth. You guys have no depth. So if anything happens to these old guys, you're gonna be throwing these young guys,
Strap it up, young guy. Let's go.
you're gonna be throwing them in a crazy position right there where they're gonna have to contribute, which we want, but maybe you wanted to bring them along
a little bit, a little more
slowly where they can learn the game, because it's a big difference, a big jump from playing college to the NFL.
I mean, there's a big jump from year 1 to year 2 in the NFL, they say. So, yeah, that's absolutely right. And there was an article in one of the local media outlets asking, are the Dolphins relying too much on 30-plus?
But that's what I'm saying.
players?
I can understand that if you were on the verge of, if you're a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, yeah. Like, this is it. Like
what the Buccaneers,
the Rams
funny
did.
that we're talking about Shaq Barrett, but
Right.
that's what the Buccaneers did. They won that first year, and then they tried to win another 2. But they loaded up that team. They got Brady.
Did what they had to do.
But they had the young talent offensively, but they added the vets defensively, and they had Todd Bowles. They didn't have to worry about, they knew the scheme and everything like that. I don't know about this team right now because you have a new defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
It's his first time being a defensive coordinator.
That's true, because he was a defensive coach with
Right.
the Ravens.
So, and you got players that are joining the team, players coming back from injuries. And you're not really going to be a full defensive team until maybe as the earliest October.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, they seem to be recovering well. Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, but I mean, middle of the season at the earliest.
It looked great, but I mean, there's nothing that you don't see anything being done. He's not doing anything pushing off the heel or anything like that.
It's individual training videos and stuff like that.
Yo,
which is totally different from playing in a game.
Dude, yeah, I wish I could look like that. He's jacked, but can he run?
Yeah. Can he not get hurt?
I can run.
Can he play?
Maybe not well, but I can run.
Can you edge rush is the big question, Vlad.
I can get on the edge and try to attack the quarterback. Though that big left tackle will be throwing me left and right all around the field. But I can at least do it. I'm not in pain. He hasn't done it yet.
Right. Yeah, man. So right now it looks like Emmanuel Ogbah. Can we give you a call and be like, hey, let bygones be bygones? Once again, it's a new coaching
But
staff.
that's what I'm saying. If it was if Vic was there.
If Vic was there, you couldn't do it. Not at all. It wouldn't happen.
Ogbah would not be on the team.
But Anthony Weaver might be able to make that call and say, hey, look, you got done wrong. Let's make it right for each of us. We'll see. We'll keep you posted. Training camp starts Wednesday, come hell or high water. Well, and I'm sure if hell and high water come, they'll postpone training camp. But nonetheless, it starts Wednesday.
No, they got an indoor. They got an indoor complex now.
But I mean, hell's so hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Hell and high water.
Well, well, we already know the sewers down here are horrible. They don't even have sewers.
Oh, man, feet wet every night.
Flood. When it rains, it's nothing but flood warnings.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Just keep the walls and keep the holes in the dam plugged as long as you can until the cavalry gets here, and hopefully that'll be enough. If not, Tua on the offense, Mike McDaniel starts scheming it up. We're gonna have to run and gun and shoot out every single game.
You can't have a shootout every single game because once November, December comes. In January,
but that's when the guys will be healthy. That's when,
but you better be able to run the ball.
Okay, we'll see. We got some guys that are tough in there, man. They'll get us those hard yards.
Sure.
But we don't know anything about Jalen Wright yet, other than he's really fast. So maybe.
So you have no Shaq Barrett.
Yeah.
And your quarterback still hasn't been extended.
No contract. Right.
Yeah, this Wednesday is gonna be great, baby.
You still haven't gotten a big sled of a running back to power through during the cold months. You got a lot of injuries still on the defensive line. Looking for 2 rookies, Mo Kamara and Chop Robinson, to not only contribute, but be very solid contributors. Anthony Weaver, first year as a defensive coordinator. Yeah, I'm staying optimistic, Vlad. Very optimistic. We'll see. Up next, we're going to see what's trending online in the South Florida sports world and the world in general. Maybe Shaq Barrett here on 560 WQAM.
can be heard on the free Odyssey app. Don't miss out. Download it today and make WQAM your favorite station.
Well, it's getting ready Thursday. Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, Amaranth Bank Arena, Busta.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a fun one, man. It's going to be jam-packed fun hits all night long.
Oh, a lot of aunties are going to be out there.
Oh, yeah. They can be dancing, grooving, having a good time. It's going to be fun. That's going to be trending on Thursday and Friday here in South Florida. We haven't done this in a while, though. I want to do a little hashtag what's trending where we go to x.com or just all over social media and check out what seems to be trending, keeping things going. Chris Greer is trending. Ghost of Adam Gase at Ghost of Adam Gase has posted Chris Greer to Agba this morning, and he puts a GIF of one of the guys from South Park naked on a bearskin rug in front of a fireplace going, sorry.
Okay.
Chris Greer could be having to do that. Jason Sarney says Chris Greer bet on a veteran pass rusher over raising one off a great year, and the dealer had a blackjack loss and also lost a DL bet in gambling with the QB. Yeah, it is one of those things. Chris Greer, you take some bets and some of them don't cash out. You might have to reach out to Emmanuel Agba, if not already reaching out to Emmanuel Agba and see what's going to happen. Ooh, man, not fun. What's possibly going on with the edge rushers? What else you got trending, Vlad, that you would like to talk about?
Really kind of slow. It's about the British Open right now, the Open Championship.
Ooh, what's going on?
The Open Championship. A lot of people are hoping that Mr. Schauffele wins the this tournament.
Oh, a lot of people are upset about Lando Norris and how he kind of
let his boy win. I've been reading that.
So Lando Norris loses, comes in second place at the,
and LeBron is trending as well from Team USA,
making that big layup. And
game on the line. All the best players in the world who did Team USA turn for the last shot. The king,
and he came through absolutely great, big time layup. All him too, by the way. He just willed his way into it. And it was a great layup, too, because it was contested, and it was very, very great. WNBA also trending right now. Of course, they're having their all-star weekend. And there's video of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Plum kind of getting into it right there.
It was all for fun. It was all for
It
fun.
seemed like they did let their guard down a little bit last night. All the, Caitlin Clark needs to earn it, and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. It all seemed like last night they were just really enjoying themselves, having fun, while still being competitive. You saw Dwayne Wade actually tweeted about the WNBA All-Star game. He said, competitive yet fun.
Okay.
So he was.
They need that. Here's the thing. They need that.
Of course.
The NBA doesn't.
Well, it's just so funny that, like, outside of the WNBA All-Star game and Major League Baseball All-Star game.
But understand this, bro. I know what you're about to say, but understand this. They're not making the type of money that these guys are making. Right. Evan Mobley just got a 5-year, $224 million extension. You think he gives a damn about an All-Star game?
No.
Okay, then. Those ladies need it. You know why? They're not playing for another month or so.
Right. They are taking some time off. And you know what? When you're not making that much money, the extra money does help,
Right. That deal doesn't kick in until next season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they need that money.
Apparently, there was a woman that tried to talk to Angel Reese yesterday courtside, and she got escorted out. And Angel Reese seemed like, rightfully so, just like, I'm not going to be dealing with this.
I loved it. I love seeing the highlights with Caitlin and Angel playing together. Listen, she set a rookie record for assists in an All-Star game.
Yeah, she's been dishing dimes.
Yeah, she's a playmaker. She's a playmaker, and it was good to see them go against the Team USA women's team. Asia Wilson is my favorite women's basketball player right now.
Okay.
Sorry, Bam.
Bam.
Yeah.
Is that his girlfriend?
That's the rumor.
They're having a good little run because she's on the U.S. team.
That's what I'm saying, fam. That's when you know. That's when you're good. Like you see, he can't lie. Yeah, baby, I'm going to Paris for the Olympics. So am I, honey.
Room up.
We're gonna room up.
I know. You can't go out get crazy.
You know. I'm gonna tell. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would definitely holler at Kelsey Plum.
Oh,
was
she's
one of the
single now
players.
too.
She's single
Or
now?
relatively single.
No, she's single. They divorced. They divorced.
Well, I don't know. She could have somebody that she's dating.
Eh.
I'm not into her personal life that much.
Well,
She messed. I mean, she didn't mess him up. He's kind of messed up. Darren Waller
Darren Waller is
he's like
he's all done so.
making like sad songs about her retiring and like.
By the way, NFL, stop with that bully commercial with Darren Waller on it. He's like the first person you see was like, "Yeah, I was bullied," and stuff like that.
It's huge.
Get that bully commercial. Like, replace him and put somebody else. I want to see a guy who retired.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You know what I mean? Like,
retired.
he's retired. But yeah, bro, yeah.
Does it excite you that Aubrey Plaza was sitting on the court side?
I
at
love
the
Aubrey
WNBA?
Plaza.
Everybody does. I mean, come on. She's
Come on.
hilarious.
She's one of the funny, like, most beautiful, funny, deadpan person I've ever met in my life.
I love
Listen,
the deadpan.
Community. Was it? No, Parks and Rec. I'm sorry, Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
I was gonna say.
No, I listen. I was. You could tell at that time during Thursdays I was watching NBC.
Unbelievable show though, by the way.
Well, Parks and Rec. Look at all the stars that came out of that show.
Everybody on that show.
What's his name?
I'm gonna say his name is Chris Evans, but that's not his
No,
name.
it's not Chris Evans. What you would call it? What's the movie? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. They had a bunch of people, Aubrey Plaza, and then the guy that was Ron Swanson, whoever.
Ron Swanson is one of the greatest characters ever created. Absolutely.
Rob Lowe was on the show.
Rob Lowe was on there.
Literally, could not be better. That's what he used to always say. Stuff.
Rob was there. Who else was there?
Quincy Jones' daughter.
Oh,
Rashida
Jones,
She was
and
on the
obviously
early part of the show.
right, and obviously the great creator of the show,
Amy Poehler.
Oh
yeah. So if you haven't seen Parks and Rec, do yourself a. I've honestly watched it because I had nothing else to watch like years ago, and I was like, I'll give a network television show a chance.
Oh, Aziz Ansari.
Oh yeah, Aziz Ansari.
Dude, sorry. Come on, that was a great show.
These colors don't run. He's had some issues lately.
They try to ruin him. He wasn't wrong though.
If he wouldn't have, Master of None first season, Aziz Ansari, unbelievable. Season 2 and 3, literally could have watched paint dry. It was.
I think they were trying to ruin him. He was getting. They were trying to put his name in mud.
Yeah, oh, he got muddied. He got muddied in some Me Too's.
Yeah,
things like
and
that.
I come to find out it was, he didn't actually deserve that.
Oh, that sucks. Sucks that Shaq Barrett's not going to be on the team this year. He is retired.
That sucks.
We're going to get into that and more next here on 560 WQAM. Sports Day 560 WQAM if you're listening in the South Florida area on the Odyssey app around the world. Of course, you can watch us live on YouTube and at Twitch. Just type in 560 WQAM. You know, I have to admit, this is kind of, I guess, embarrassing and sad. I had almost forgotten that Shaq Barrett had signed that one-year deal with the Dolphins because it was so long ago, and then you don't really hear anything about it. And then you get around last night and you say, oh, crap. Shaq Barrett's not with the Dolphins, but he was with the Dolphins for that one-year contract that never came to fruition. But it was so quiet. I remember covering that he wanted to be close to home and his kids and his family. But really, I had seen the other day and I was like, oh, yeah, Shaq Barrett's on this team. He's going to be a good veteran presence. Well, no, he's not. He is done. He is retired. And now the Dolphins look for more edge rushers. Good news if you're an edge rusher that doesn't have a job in the NFL because there's going to be a new opening. And the Dolphins probably going to be looking to get a decent deal because they are kind of handcuffed with the whole salary cap. Although Shaq Barrett, I can't remember what Shaq Barrett's contract was with. Let's see what it was. So how much money is that going to open up for Dolphins contract? How much is it going to open up for him? Oh, it was a one-year deal worth $9 million. So
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that actually gives you a little hope that maybe if you can get one of these guys on a one-year prove-it deal, you can maybe save a little bit of money or at least get somebody that's
but that's the vet. That's the type of deal you give a guy who's got the accolades that Shaq Barrett had and still wants to play another year. It was always going to be 1-year deal. That's why now when I'm really taking a step back and I'm looking at this, I'm like, the Dolphins really signed players, and I understand it why they did it because you lost some key players through free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to release some guys because of the contracts that you have to give upcoming. But I'm looking at the roster, I'm like, are they a Super Bowl contending team or are they just a playoff team? Because if it's a Super Bowl contending team, I can understand signing the 7 guys at the age of 30 and over.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a team that's just about to make the playoff and get a win and see what's going on, then you're in a messed up position because you're going to do the same exact thing the following year.
That is the problem with getting free agents or quote unquote mercenaries is that you don't set yourself up for the long run. But now it looks like the Dolphins, at least they've drafted Chop Robinson in the 1st round. In the 5th round, Mo Kamara. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe that's them kind of starting to look towards the future. You did get Jalen Phillips, who's a young guy. He's just been hurt a lot, but there is a lot of age on this team. And it's a team that, like you said, Vlad, their goal is to win a playoff game this year. Their goal is to win the Super Bowl too, but realistically, they're not so much, at least now in this point of the quote unquote beginning of the season, they are not considered Super Bowl contenders. They're considered playoff contenders. And that doesn't bode well in the future. And once again, you don't have a quarterback that's under contract. Got a lot of question marks. So Shaq Barrett, though, that I did not see that coming. I was out of left field, but
that $8 million now help Tua's contract.
They could Tua go down and be like, I heard you got some extra money. Maybe that's all he needs. A couple $1 million, $8-9 million, or
Chris Pratt was the name of the actor.
Chris Pratt from yes. He was married to Aubrey Plaza on the show.
Right.
Good guy. I like him.
Chris Pratt, man. Good for him.
Trying to think what else I've seen him in.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know Guardians of the Galaxy.
He did that movie with Scarlett Joe where they were like in space and they were frozen, and then he got out and he unlocked her and they were just living in space together.
I started watching yesterday. On totally different movie. The Venus and Serena Williams. What is it?
The doc?
No, King Henry.
Oh, King Richard.
Richard, yeah, that was cool. I only watched the first 30, 40 minutes, but that was cool as hell, man. Will Smith gets his ass beat a lot in that movie at the beginning.
Yeah, well,
is that real life?
I don't know. I don't know if Richard Williams. I mean, it's based on an actual events and their story, so maybe it's true.
It's a cool movie though, from what I've seen. And
it's a good movie.
I have not seen the whole thing. It's 2.5 hours. I think I watched the first 30, 40 minutes. I thought it was great. If I get some free time, I'll watch it again. Right now, let's get to the headlines before we get to anything else. Once again, two-time Super Bowl champion linebacker Shaq Barrett has abruptly retired, as the New York Times says. He had
Abruptly, gosh, wow. Why those words?
Well, we didn't expect it. It was abrupt. 1 year, $9 million deal. He walked away from that. He's a bigger man than I. That leaves rookies Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara as the only real healthy edge rushers going into camp this Wednesday. Because remember, you got Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and even Cameron Good on the PUP list, the PUP list. So a lot of question marks right there for the Miami Dolphins. No question about it. LeBron James, one of the greatest of all time, and he proved it yesterday late with 8 seconds left in the game. A game-winning layup as Team USA avoided an upset by South Sudan, 101-100. Interesting, Vlad. Remember the USA team got down by like 13, 14 points?
We were watching it. They were up by a lot.
Then they came back and were up by like 4 or 5 points.
No, they were up by weren't they up like 10-2 to start the game?
They're up like 15.
So it was like, all right, they're gonna win. And then all of a sudden they're down. They were down big. They were down double digits going into the half. And in that third quarter, they just decided to lay the smackdown on Sudan's ass.
They came back and were up by like 4 with a minute left, and then kind of withered away. And South Sudan hit some threes and hit some shots. And then LeBron, of course, bailed him out with that great layup at the very end. He didn't even cross over. It was
just basically, look, you're not stopping me.
Right. It was LeBron, and it was left-handed too. It was a left-handed drive
and a right-handed layup. But here's the thing that people don't realize: LeBron James' dominant hand is his left hand.
Oh, okay.
He's left-handed.
He's left-handed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Something else I didn't know.
Yeah, he's left-handed. So he writes left. He signs everything's left, but he plays the game using his right.
Okay, so he's like opposite of me. I do everything left-handed except I write with my right hand.
Okay.
Because when you go to kindergarten in the Deep South, they put the pen in your hand and you try to put it in your other hand. They're like, no, you're writing it with your wrong hand.
It feels weird.
Well, so I was forced, even though I was left-handed as a child, to write with my right hand because teachers thought that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's messed up.
They never asked me like, oh, well, do you feel more comfortable with your left hand? So I was forced to be ambidextrous like that. So that's why now I'm a little more ambidextrous because teachers just forced me to.
I like how you say ambidextrous.
I am ambidextrous.
You say ambidextrous. It's ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous?
Yeah. It's not ambi. It's not like Ambien.
Oh, well, I was thinking that was part of it too. That I can take it with both hands, you know. Get some sleep. I'd love to get some sleep tonight. Nonetheless, Bam Adebayo added 4 points. Germany's next up for Team USA. That's tomorrow at 3:00 in London.
Xander Schauffele is 9 under now.
Yeah, he's 3 strokes ahead.
He's
in the
won
final round.
He's won this.
Oh, Vlad, let's not do this again. We did this yesterday.
He's won
USA.
No. Dude, if this guy hits a triple bogey on the 18th hole, then and loses or ties, then he didn't deserve to win.
He is on the 17th hole. Okay, I do see that. He is on
he's 3 holes. He's got a 3-stroke lead going to 17.
It is true. Heat. They have entered the Final Four Summer League tournament.
Woohoo!
Today, they face the Warriors at 4:00. If they win, they play in the championship game Monday night. So the Heat, they've looked good in this. Remember they got blown out the very first game in California. And ever since then, they have been just dynamite, blowing out the Raptors on Friday.
You know what's weird, right? The Heat radio team's out there in Vegas.
But we are not covering the games. I have no clue what's going on out there.
It's crazy.
Well, the whole team was there for a little while. We did talk to
Will Mantle,
Amy Audibert.
Okay.
And she was back in Canada when we spoke to her. And she said she had been in Vegas for the first 2 games.
Okay.
But apparently Jason Jackson, who is the play-by-play guy, apparently Vegas is his playground. Like, that's his thing. He's gone to every summer league for all 20 years and he knows everybody. And it's just like his Christmas.
Okay.
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
I'll ask him next time I talk to him.
No, I get it, bro. I've been around there during the summer league. It's grown over the last 20 years. It's a different animal.
The night games are packed. The day games are not as packed. It's all there at UNLV.
Well, nobody wants to be outside in 20-degree weather, even if you're inside. But
it's that dry heat, though.
It's that nasty dry heat, bro.
Oh, no.
Now, I'll take dry heat over.
I was going to say that the nasty humidity.
It's still nasty because it's hot, but I'd rather take that over the 95 South Florida or in Texas.
Yeah, Texas is bad too. Whew. Texas and South Florida. You know who's good? Inter Miami, whether they have Messi or not. Mateus Rojas scored in the 8th minute. And then Jordi Alba scored in about the 79th minute, and they got a win against the Chicago Fire 2-1. See, the Chicago Fire equalized in like the 75th minute, and then like 2 minutes later, like I said, Jordi Alba went out there, got a nice little cheeky goal, and they advance. No, they don't advance. They get 3 points. Next up, they do advance to Leagues Cup group play against Puebla from Liga MX. That is going to be Saturday at 8. So hopefully we can win a second Leagues Cup this year and then continue on in MLS play. Rodri Munoz pitched 5 innings, giving up 3 hits and a run, but it was not enough as the Marlins lost 1-0 to the Mets. Game 3 of their 4-game series. Going to be starting in just a little while at 1:40. Of course, Vlad, you and I are going to the game Thursday. That is a 12:10 first pitch against the Orioles.
Yes, sir.
That should be a very fun one. We're going to be interested to see what's going on with the Marlins. And will the team even look the same as it does today when we go on Thursday? Because there's talk that Tanner Scott is going to be dealt. There is talk, of course, that Jazz Chisholm is going to be dealt. You never know with Jake Berger or Josh Bell. Don't know what's going to happen with them. We'll wait and see. Australia's Oscar Piastri won his very first ever F1 race over at the Hungarian Grand Prix.
They're ripping him.
There's a little bit of that would suck. I kind of feel bad.
Can you really?
It's your first win,
but
you didn't really win
because
Lando Norris kind of let him.
They told the bosses told Lando Norris let the man win.
What would you say if you were?
Nah, you got to earn that.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
not right. Because are you like if I'm leading, I let you win because you're my teammate.
And we know Lando Norris. He won the Miami Grand Prix this year,
right?
So he does have wins under his belt.
So continue getting more wins. I want to see that you're going to be the rival to MVS.
I would just hate, and I in a way, and I don't know why I feel bad, but in a way I kind of feel for Oscar Piastri because you ran a good race, but now there's an asterisk next to it.
It's an absolute asterisk because you're the team, not your team, but McLaren said they want you to win. Not because you earned it, you competed for it.
He did earn at least the top 2 finish. We just
but
don't know if
you're going to win. That thing was, would you have won? Why didn't they just let them battle to see if they're going to win? And you're going to finish 1-2 regardless, McLaren.
So if you're a Piastri, do you just say this? Nah, let's play it out.
I'm going to say, nah, let's play it out. Because my ego, I can't be, because then everybody's always going to say, yeah, the only win that you got, they let you win. What if that's the only win he gets?
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know?
Right, that is weird.
It's like, oh, you really didn't earn that win. They handed it to you.
Or just even until you win another one, you got to kind of have a big question mark hanging over your head. Like, and everyone's always going to be like, oh, well, you won, but you didn't really win because they let you win.
And not only that, you don't know when you might have to, they might tell you to do that now to return the favor. And what if you don't want to?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's
kind of, what if it's another race? What if it's Morocco? What if it's Miami? What if it's Vegas and McLaren's 1-2? You gonna tell them don't compete, or you gonna say, hey, I want Lando to win this one. You'll win the next one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to understand the whole situation, how it is a team sport, but yet it's still an individual sport. So like you're taking one for the team, but at the same time it's individual. It's just interesting. But yeah, there is an asterisk. It's going to be, when I say asterisk, there's not going to be a real asterisk next to it, but there will be a
nasty work.
Theoretical asterisk next to that until he wins another one. And then if he wins another one and it's outright, he's going to say, see, no question marks about it. This is the way it is. So we'll see. The F1 racing world has gotten very interesting. You know, we saw Hamilton win his first time in like 4 or 5 years. Well, maybe 3 years. Lewis Hamilton won the first time in 3 years the other day. Verstappen won everything early. Now seems to be, pardon the pun, taking his foot off the gas. Lando Norris winning in Miami Grand Prix, hanging out with Jimmy Butler. F1, man. I know people that have the F1 channel, like they buy it. They watch it. I'm like, man, you got some time, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, with that being said, we got time to step into the day spa. Ah, yes. An Alaskan woman has issued her boyfriend of 7 years an ultimatum: quit your job or quit this relationship.
Quitting you, bro.
You know what?
I'm quitting you, mommy.
You know what his job is?
What is he?
He put, it's not something racy like being a stripper or even
male escort.
Nothing like that. He's a pilot for the Postal Service. That's
So what?
strange.
Shorty doesn't want you to send mail?
She says it gets her nervous that he flies and that he may never return home. Well, he may never return home, but not for that reason.
So how does she travel?
I don't know.
Yo, dump her.
Sounds like that relationship needs to end.
He's probably cheating on her. He's probably been on the Friendly Skies,
Mile High
the
Club.
Mile High Club, like many other times with other people. Get out of here. She sounds boring. Baby, you got to think. 7 years, and all of a sudden
Now you got to say you're just getting nervous. Something's wrong.
relax.
Something's definitely wrong.
Nah, get out of my face with that BS.
Get out of my face. Is that how you? Is that what you would say to a woman? Get out of my face with that BS.
That's that's my way of telling someone, like, just get your presence away from me, because like that's the nicest thing I can tell you, because the next thing that's gonna come out of my mouth is just gonna eviscerate you. Like,
be bad.
yeah. So when I hear stupidness like that, I can't get that 10 seconds back that I just lost. I can't. So it's like, get out of my face with that BS so that I don't recognize
Better for
or
everybody.
remember that you just said that stupidness.
Better for everybody.
Yes.
Well, SEC had their media days. ACC has their media days coming up. Big Ten media days. Who will be attending this year, next year, in the future years? We're going to discuss that next here on 560 WQAM. This past week in Dallas, Texas, it was SEC Media Days. This week in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're going to have ACC Media Days. I think Big Ten Media Days are happening up in Chicago. Media Days 2024. It is going to be Tuesday, July 23rd. Yep. So it is going to start this week. Big Ten Media Days will be happening at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Of course, we know that Florida State and Clemson have sued the ACC because it's too expensive to get us, like $90 million or something crazy to try to get out of their deal with the
I bet
ACC.
Florida State or Clemson or Miami don't win the title this year. I mean, when I say y'all, I'm talking about the media that is against the ACC and against those three teams. Because I really don't think the ACC has been doing a good job with those three universities, in my opinion. And the ACC to me should not be a third conference.
Right. It should be up.
It should be up there. It shouldn't be like, like the second level. In tiers. It shouldn't be like the second tier. It should be right up there with the SEC and the Big Ten.
It should be theoretically, but
I mean, yeah,
with the lawsuit that's going on right now, FSU and Clemson, they're looking to get the buyout rate a little lower so that they can buy their way out of the ACC. The only thing
but
is,
nobody wants them. Well, at least for Florida State, no other conference is trying to include them.
That is right. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. The SEC, Greg Sankey has come out and said publicly, we're worried about our 16 teams. Not looking to expand. We're worried about our 16 teams. And then privately, you've heard the SEC telling Florida State and Clemson, seriously, don't. No.
But I would think the SEC would want Florida State to be in there because Florida has not been very good in recent years. And the state of Florida is very pivotal in college football. So therefore, if you're able to get two of the biggest teams in the state of Florida in your conference, you're at least giving yourself a chance that one of these teams will be good and be competing for SEC championships, college football playoff spots, and the college football playoff title.
I'm glad you bring that up, Vlad, because that would make sense, but that's not what these conference realignments
they don't
are
care
about.
No, they care about cents. They don't care about cents.
It is about eyeballs, viewership, and the money that it can make.
It's
your
all about
conference.
dollars and cents. It's not about common sense.
And I'll tell you why the SEC does not care about Florida State and Clemson.
Why is that?
Number one, let's go with Florida State. What do they add?
What do you mean add? What do they add?
What eyes do they add? They're right near geographically Florida. They add no new eyes. Nothing.
They got some beautiful women out there.
Okay, Greg Sankey's not worried about beautiful women right now.
Beautiful women drives attendance.
But what I'm saying, you don't market-wise add anything if you get Florida State.
Okay, but what others like? All right, let me ask you this. All right, Florida State's in Tallahassee, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's popping in Tuscaloosa?
Well, the thing is, you get the states of Alabama. That's what you get.
So, but you got two teams. But you got two teams in the state of Alabama.
Right.
And Auburn isn't that great.
Right, but this is the thing. Those are already long-term SEC
So,
people.
okay, but you're also accepting Oklahoma, Texas, who was in the Big 12.
Once again, you get into the Central Texas, Austin market, and
but you're already there. But you're already there with Texas A&M.
Texas A&M is Houston market.
Okay, but
Very
you're in the state of Texas, correct?
Now you get Dallas too. You get those eyeballs from Oklahoma.
You were going to get, but they're going to get that regardless.
But how are they going to get that regardless without those teams? You can't go to a contract and say you're getting those eyes.
You're going to get those guys, bro.
Okay,
it's the SEC. It's the biggest conference.
What I'm saying is,
and here's the other thing. No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You're right.
Acting. You said it's about sense, and I'm making sense of what everything is. It's about the money.
It's about. When I said sense, it's not about common sense. It's about dollars and cents. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
But Florida State doesn't bring anything because you don't get any extra eyeballs. Therefore, you can't charge a higher rate. Where's Clemson located?
Clemson is located in South Carolina.
Who's in the SEC from South Carolina?
South Carolina.
So what eyeballs are you adding?
But South Carolina's not that good.
Doesn't matter.
You're adding. Dude, it's about winning.
It has no, it's not.
It's got to be about winning for the conferences because you know what? If your conference doesn't win, nobody's watching you.
Adding teams right now for a conference like the SEC is about adding eyeballs. That's what it's about. That's why I say
No, you're right.
the
You're right.
SEC would way rather prefer Miami over Florida State. Why?
Because of the market. It's
you get
no, you're
South
right.
Florida's market.
You're right. I get it. Tallahassee's too close to Gainesville. I get it. Okay, I get that.
Clemson's too close
But
to.
you also want the best teams.
They'll make them good. Look
You
what they
get-
did with Missouri. Missouri was a terrible
Missouri,
football school.
man.
Now they're great. Why? Because the SEC says, step it
You
up.
want great
Here's your
school,
money.
but this is what happens when you now that you add Oklahoma and Texas in there. That means those Mississippi State team schools are going to be bad. They were already bad from before. They're going to continue being bad. So if you want a super conference, get those teams out of there and put the real teams. You got to be. I'm sorry, folks, but Clemson, Miami, and Florida State is way better than Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and whatever horrible SEC team there.
They're grandfathered in. That's the thing. They've been in the conference
But
for so long.
I get you grandfathered in, but you're also taking other teams.
Right.
You're taking other teams. You're taking other big programs. Like, let's not act like Florida State's not a big program.
No, it is.
We're not going to act like University of Miami's not a big program, and we can't act like Clemson because Clemson was whooping all you SEC asses not too long ago.
Miami's doing the right thing by staying out of it.
They're quiet.
Let Florida State, let Clemson get their hands dirty.
They're quiet. Let them do it to see how we can maneuver
It's
around.
a smart move.
I get it.
I give Dan Radakovich credit if he's doing this. He's said that they're strong with the ACC, but hey, why let them get their hands dirty if the price is right and we can get out and go to the SEC. Apparently, they like the Big Ten, and the Big Ten likes Miami because of the academics and the program and everything like that. I think the SEC would be interested in Miami simply because of this market that they could get into.
Here's the key.
But I could see Florida State and Clemson getting into the Big Ten because that does give Big Ten a different.
I think they should go to the Big 12.
They also said the Big 12 not overly excited about getting Florida State and the Clemson.
But Big 12 can't be talking either. Big 12 don't have no big. Big 12 don't got no big team there. Their biggest team is Colorado.
Right, and that's just because of Coach Prime.
And don't tell me they don't want Florida because Florida State's bigger than UCF.
Florida State is bigger than UCF?
Yes.
As far as program-wise?
Yeah.
Okay, student body, UCF's larger, but
yeah, I mean, student body, yeah. I mean, it's grown, but I mean, I'd rather still go to Florida State.
Right.
Florida won women to guy ratio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Florida State's crazy, man. And plus, you got FAMU right there, too. It's just
and TCC.
But I could easily see the Big 12. That would be a good move for them because it would get more competition in the conference. It would get different sets of eyes. You could probably charge.
And I think the Big 10 would want to go to the South because if you're already taking teams from the West in USC and UCLA, right? And you got Rutgers and Penn State in the East, you would have every region
every corner.
every corner of the United States marketed.
UCLA, USC,
West Coast.
You got the University of Washington.
University of Washington.
So you got that corner. You got Rutgers and Maryland on that corner.
You got that in the East.
And then you come down
and Penn State. Don't forget Penn State.
And Penn State. Then you come down to get Florida State.
You get Florida State, Miami.
Or forget.
Clemson.
Let's just say right now.
You get the South, and then you're already in the middle.
You have to basically divide up your conference into two divisions.
No, they're not even doing that.
They're not even doing that, but I mean, like, that's crazy that Florida State, if they get in, would have to fly all the way across the country, or Miami would get in to play Washington sometime.
That's money, baby.
Great trip.
You said it. That's what dollars and cents make.
They don't care.
They don't care. I mean, look at what's happening this year. They're playing Virginia Tech on a Friday night, and then what?
Cal.
They're going to Cal the following week on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So that means they're flying out. What? They're leaving South Florida Thursday night, or Friday morning.
That is a trip, and. But this is another thing that we were talking to some of the guys at SEC Media Days earlier this week, what the hopes of Florida State and Clemson are. But let's just say theoretically, SEC's honest, they don't want you.
And also, here's the other thing. SEC's a little bit upset with Florida State because they feel like Florida State was the reason why Georgia wasn't able to get into the college football playoffs last year.
That's true. And they were a lot. What's his name? Bobby
Georgia lost.
Bobby Bowden back in the day kind of had a chance to go to the SEC, but chose the ACC because he figured it'd be
there's beef. There's beef, but you expected that because when you were the top dog of your conference, you expect to show out. But what Florida State, I believe, is saying they don't get support from their conference, from their leaders of the conference, their commissioner, and all of that. And that's the reason why they want to bounce.
They don't like the television deal. That's the real reason. But okay.
I mean,
Let's just say
the
this.
ACC network's deal is not that great.
No, well, at the time it looked cool, and then times changed.
But all those deals seem cool. Then look at that. Remember,
Right.
Texas was the first one with the Longhorn Network. I don't even think that thing exists anymore.
No,
That's right.
that almost blew. That's what was the first peg where college football started blowing up, was that Longhorn Network. And then the Big 12 started moving around, or whatever you want to call it, and it just started getting crazy. But here's the scenario, though. Let's say SEC, nope, no thank, Florida State, Clemson. And now Florida State and Clemson have sued to get out of the ACC, and the ACC not very happy with them. SEC says, no, we're good. Big 10 says, no, we're good. Big 12, for whatever reason, doesn't happen. What does Florida State and Clemson do? Do they come back to the ACC and go, hey, what's up, man? Their hope is this also. Let's say the lawsuit brings down the money to get out of the buyout to a relatively low number. Then you might see schools like North Carolina, NC State, Virginia Tech, Miami buy out of the ACC. At that point, it becomes a bidding war where the SEC and the Big Ten, not that their hands are forced, but would kind of be like, okay, they got a lot of free agents out there. Let's cherry pick what we want, because they kind of see what's going on. That's one of their hopes. The other hope would be that they can get out of the conference at a relatively decent price and then get into one of these other conferences. But what if no one takes them, Vlad, and they leave, and the ACC says, oh, well, I guess the ACC can the ACC kick a school out?
I don't think they want to kick a school out, especially a school like Florida State.
It'd be a bad look.
Basically, listen, they both hate each other, but they got to deal with each other. So it's
what if Florida State decides, you know what, the buyout price is right. We don't want to be in the ACC.
Where are they going to go? They have to go to a
else.
conference.
Can they go independent for a year or two?
They could. They were independent.
Try to raise their stock.
Weren't they independent before?
Try to raise their stock. Yeah.
I believe they were independent and then joined the ACC, but I think Notre Dame and Florida State were two of the teams that were independent. And then eventually, because money, like you said, we've been saying, money talks. If you notice, Notre Dame is independent, but they're really part of they're tied with the ACC.
Wouldn't that be nasty business if Florida State, Clemson sue to get out, get the price right, they get out, can't find a division or conference, I'm sorry, and then they have to schedule everything on their own. And what if the ACC pulls this move? You know what? We don't appreciate what you did. None of our teams will play you. We'll schedule any games against you. Then you have to really start, because now all your regional schools that you want to play, that you used to play, let's just say, like, we don't want to do business with you. Now you have to start going around trying to play, I'm guessing, SEC schools, Big Ten schools, try to win those games and maybe get some favor. That could be nasty work for Florida State or Clemson if that were the scenario. And you know what? I think it'd be crazy and fun. I really do. I know I got a lot of friends that graduated from Florida State and are Seminoles, but I think that would be fun, Vlad. If they had to go independent for a year and schedule everything on their own, and the ACC said, no, thanks. You sued, you're out. You don't want a piece of us. We don't want a piece of you.
Yeah, but if you do that,
all their teams don't.
But if you do that, that's good, because that means they can schedule all the top teams and they beat every top team. And they get to the college football playoffs, and then they win a national title.
That's how you bet on yourself.
That's how. Yeah. Then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, hey, big head." Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Seminole."
But still, don't be jealous of the person that has to make all the schedules for each sport, because that's the thing people don't understand. Oh, football. If you unalign yourself, how are you going to schedule women's basketball games and diving events? Because those sports still exist. That's what people don't understand, how nasty it is. That's why Notre Dame had to align with the ACC. Not just in football, but outside, because scheduling these events is daunting. Think about it. If you had to schedule the women's golf meet for Florida State as an independent, oh my goodness gracious. Track. What are you going to do? I mean, I know there's certain meets here and there, but that is a daunting task. Football, okay, we got to find 11, 12, 13 games. We'll figure it out. Basketball, baseball, softball, track, women's diving, tennis, like, whoo, that is some scheduling. I am not jealous of the person that might have to do that if the situation plays out. It's going to be interesting. We said it last year. I don't know what college football's landscape is going to look like in 2 years. I don't know what's to look like in a year.
You know what it's going to look like in 2 years. They're going to be making so much money off the college football playoff. They're going to try to add it, make it 16.
Oh, well, we know that. But I'm talking about,
right.
What are the conferences going to look like?
It's probably going to have 3 conferences. It's going to be 3 conferences of like 40 teams.
Okay. Is there going to be any mid-majors still, or are they just going to go?
They're gonna be mid. I don't know if they're gonna be major.
Are we going to see cupcake games anymore?
I
in a
don't know
couple
if we're
years?
gonna see cupcake
I feel
games
bad
anymore.
though because a lot of
I
these
don't
schools
think you know-
rely on that money.
Nah, you can't get that cupcake game, baby, because now you're contending against everything. It's not your own. You're contending against your own conference, but you're contending with other teams from other conferences. Because
So what are little schools like?
losing doesn't. All right, you know what's funny now, Cousin? Before you lost one game, you're pretty much effed.
Season's over.
You could lose one game, your season's still good.
Oh, you're great.
You could actually lose 2 games.
You're great, especially if you're in the SEC or Big Ten.
If you
especially if you're in the
lost
SEC.
2 close games to a good team that's going to the playoff, the committee's going to look at it like, oh, this is one of the 12 best teams in college football. So it's actually beneficial for the certain teams that they can start off slow, maybe go 1-1, 0-2, and then run the gamut, and then all of a sudden you're like 9-2. You may be playing in a conference championship game or not, but you're gonna definitely be one of the 7 at-large bids
Let's say
that can get in.
You're an LSU. I'll use them because that's my alma mater, and you lose an early season game to USC. That's the first game of the season.
Is
you
it?
Lose. Yeah,
That's a goodie.
it's in Vegas. Lose, and then last game of the season you lose to. I think they're playing. Oh, I can't remember.
I know you play, but the last couple of games for you guys are pretty. Like you play Alabama, you play Arkansas.
But if you lose to USC out of conference, and then you lose your last game of the season in conference, you're still in the SEC championship game. Your season's fine. You lost the first and last game. Back in the day, that was a death sentence. Now, go on ahead, win the SEC championship game, and you're probably going to, even if you lose the SEC championship game, you're in the college football playoff.
As long as you got 2 losses, bro, and
You're
the
good.
losses are against the 2 teams that are going to the playoffs. Like if you lost to the conference winner.
Yeah,
Say you lose to USC, right? In the first game of the season, USC wins the Big Ten in their first year. That's going to be now the Big Ten could say, yeah, we beat you. Obviously, conference pride is going to be on the line, but you lose to a USC and then you lose to, say, I don't know, a Georgia.
Not even that. Vlad, you lose to USC first game of the year. It's out of conference. And even if you slip up and lose one to Mississippi State or Vanderbilt, you're still in the SEC championship game. Go out there and win the SEC championship game, and you're automatically into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the death sentence is not as looming as it used to be in college football.
But wow, you guys are playing the Big Ten a lot this year.
What they're this year?
Well, I mean, you're scheduled to play USC and UCLA this year.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting USC and UCLA because they already had a home and a home with UCLA. I went to the one in Rose Bowl a couple of years back.
Right. So this is the return now.
Right. This is the return.
Okay. So it took 3 years?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a nasty home and home.
Yeah. It was nasty going all the way out to California to watch them lose too. LSU got it on. Chip Kelly thought he had it going on though. He's the assistant. He's the offensive coordinator at Ohio State now. Chip Kelly, who one time was the greatest college football coach that we had.
All right, so look at what happened to you guys now. So you end the year, your last 4 games. Listen to the last 4 games of the season. 5 games for LSU. October 26th, Texas A&M at Texas A&M.
Get an off week.
Bye week.
Alabama.
The big game against Alabama. That's gonna be a night game. And then the following week is Florida. That's a big rivalry game.
That's your common opponent, yeah. Or we don't have common opponent.
LSU versus Vanderbilt, November 23rd.
We'll be all right.
And then you finish the year against Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
That is tough.
That's what the SEC is now, man. Everybody's got a tough schedule.
That is tough. That is a tough schedule right there. Looking at it.
That's a nay right there. That's a nay. But we'll be all right. We're gonna do some nay and day next. Thumbs up, thumbs down here on 560 WQAM. Let's get into some real quick. Nay or Day going to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Last night, Inter Miami got a big win. That's not the Nay or Day. Jordi Alba got a late, cheeky goal to give Inter Miami a win.
Cello back in for Rojas. The Paraguayan with some space in the middle. Left-footed chip. Pineda tries to clear. Afonso back into the mix. Headed away. Brady off his line. And the clearance falls to Alba, who taps it into an empty net. Chris Brady charging out and banged into his own defender. Leo Afonso just put it in the mix, and it comes out with a cherry on top. Alba's fourth of the season, and Miami back in front, and Jordy to the sideline to celebrate with his longtime friend, Leo Messi.
So, Vlad, not so much the goal, not so much Inter Miami winning. Did you see those Inter Miami kits last night? A little collabo with the Dolphins. Oh, you got to look it up, man.
All right. They're wearing teal?
Yeah, spoiler alert. You were going to say day to this one, man. Whoa! I might actually have to buy this kit, bro. It basically looks like the Dolphins playing soccer.
But so the Dolphins playing football.
Not as aqua, maybe a little lighter, the aqua. To me, it is a beautiful jersey line. I love the Negro Rosa. I have one of those kits, but this new one, the Dolphins edition, whatever they want to call it, looks fresh, man.
I see the teal.
Yeah, I don't like the all pinks, but I like these teal jerseys, man.
Give me the Negro Rosa.
Okay. I thought I was gonna get more of a day on that one. That's okay.
It's too many Dolphin colors, huh? You know.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I thought it was authentic Miami, but that's okay.
It doesn't matter.
LeBron James got a big layup with 8 seconds last night or yesterday against South Sudan for the win. After the game, sounded like he was pretty happy about it.
I like those ones better than the blowouts. At least we get tested. I like getting tested, man. We put the clothes on. Like being tested. Those the best ones.
Yeah, he was talking to Steph when they were leaving the court.
They were happy about it.
I mean, here's the thing. You know who's getting the ball at the end of the games now. So all that, who's going to take the last shot, we know who's getting the ball at the end of the game. He may not take the shot, but he's going to make the right play.
Mm-hmm.
The right play, he said he tried to give Steph, he gave Steph 3 opportunities to like really put some distance between them and South Sudan. And Steph missed 2-3 open 3-point attempts. And then down 1, LeBron just did what LeBron does. It almost looks similar to the layup he scored against Paul George in the Eastern Conference Finals with Miami. Just went dribble left and finished with the right hand.
Once again, it's easier to say I like getting tested or I like pressure when you win the game, though. So
what that, and also you got your teammates are 11 of the best players in the world.
Right. You know, it's just kind of a bump in the road, and it really wasn't a bump because you got the win. Matt Eberflus, he is the coach of the Chicago Bears. Training camp has barely started. He's already ready to name his starter.
You know, for me, it's just believing in Caleb, you know, putting him in there and let's go. You know, I think that the expectation is him to be the starter. He is the starter when we drafted him, and that's where we put him in the position to be that. And we're going to do a great job of supporting him to get him ready for the first game.
Do you like that, Vlad? A guy that's never taken a snap, although he is the first pick.
He's the first pick of the damn draft, bro.
So you're okay with it. You don't have to. I'm not saying you don't have to earn it, but you know, you'd like to hear.
Unless there's a John Kitna in front of him. Yeah, no.
You're okay with that.
You're the number 1 pick. You're the face of the franchise. You're hyped. Get your ass on the field. Get behind center and start taking some snaps.
So you've earned the starting position by simply being the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yes, you earned it. Yes, when you're the number 1 pick, you're not supposed to be sitting on the bench.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it used to be.
You're not supposed to be sitting on the bench.
Back in the day, you used to have to grow into the position. But nowadays, you don't have time for all that.
You're not supposed to get your ass in there and throw you in, right in the fire.
I like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he's going to have growing pains like all rookies do in their first year. But I think overall, going to be pretty good. Pretty good.
He may have a CJ Stroud.
Whoa. Unbelievable. That's an unbelievable rookie year then. Great. Last but not least, there was a fight last night. There was a couple of fights, actually. But Jake Paul doing his thing.
Oh, that's the one. All right.
All right. The jab set up the left hook.
Oh, And now wait it up. There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
Wait, he just said a new king of violence?
TKO'd Mike Perry in the sixth round.
God.
Jake Paul said, Mike Tyson, you're next. He did after the fight.
I want Mike to hurt him.
Why are you hating on Jake Paul?
I want Mike to hurt him.
Why Jake Paul hate?
Because boxing is not the way boxing is, man. Like boxing, listen, I get it. I don't know what it is. If it's the promoters or the boxers themselves. Hello, Shakir Stevenson. But the only excitement that you get from boxing now is from other fighters from other sanctioned sports entering the boxing ring. So are you like Jake Paul can set up a fight with Mike Tyson and was supposed to be what, in August? No, it was supposed to be in July. Get canceled, have another fight in Tampa against some bare knuckle fighter, and then call out Mike Tyson right after that. Come on, bro.
Well, that's how the sport is, man. It's like track and it's like boxing. You're cocky,
Track is you're
confident.
not running, but you know what? No 60-year-old track stars running against Usain Bolt or anything like that.
That's too much.
No.
Imagine if Carl Lewis and Usain Bolt had a race right now. Oh.
And he's not fought anyone with legitimate boxing skills.
Right, he stays in his lane. Now
He's
Jake Paul's not
fighting
going out
former
there.
MMA fighters.
Yeah, he's fighting guys off the streets almost, or guys that are kind of.
I will say this: he's a bigger dude than I thought.
He's huge, by the way.
Yeah, so I don't know. He might be on some,
Oh, I think that's pretty obvious. He's jacked. Man.
However,
and when I say jacked, like
however
big
you
and jacked.
spell it, HGH backwards is HGH.
Like my favorite guy, Ben Johnson.
Oh, that. You were talking about that yesterday, weren't we?
You were talking about it last week. I can't stop thinking about him. He's yoked up, just running.
Ben was crazy, bro. It was like a fire hydrant with wheels, man. He was just.
The drug test came back and tested positive for everything. They're like, how is that possible?
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? It's like the guy, like your peers, like Carl Lewis, who's been the king of the mountain, right? All of a sudden, he's like, damn, this guy's just out. It's fast. How?
Yeah, how
when?
did he all of a sudden just get that fast?
Yeah, like what's going on here?
His head was the size of a watermelon.
That would be it. That would be the reason.
Everything got a swole up. How can you test positive for everything? You mean everything we tested for? No, everything. Even stuff we didn't test for just showed up positive. Like Ben Johnson, huh? Oh man, am I gonna lose my gold medal? Yeah, you're gonna lose your gold medal. Sorry. He even had to run with his arms to the side because his torso was so big. One of my favorite Olympic memories. Can't wait. Noah Lyle. Let's go. Up next, get you caught up with everything else. And Teron Armstead out there talking at the offensive tackle symposium. What did he have to say?
I'm gonna miss 4 games this season.
Uh-oh. Spoiler alert. That's next on 560 WQAM.
that thing, miss. Can I shake that thing, miss? Annabella shake that
We've
thing.
neglected to
Yeah,
mention in
yeah,
Cooperstown,
yeah.
New York,
Rebecca.
right now, they're inducting 4 players/coaches into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame, including Marlins great Jim Leland, who won a championship with the Marlins. Adrian Beltre, don't touch his head, longtime Mariner and part of the Texas Rangers. Joe Mauer, most famous for his catching and first baseman with the Minnesota Twins. And Todd Helton. Todd Helton getting in. Hitman, Colorado Rockies. Also, starting quarterback of the Tennessee Volunteers with one backup Peyton Manning behind him. Do you remember those days, Vlad?
I'm sorry. I was just reading that I think our former president's stepping out the election right now.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Talking. Well, wait. Let me set you up first. I was talking about guys getting into the Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Adrian Beltre, they don't want to touch his head. It was a great thing when he was a Ranger.
Todd Helton was actually the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers when Peyton Manning was a freshman, got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning took over. And the rest is
Jim
history.
Leland, manager of the Pirates, but also led the Marlins to their first World Series victory.
Won a championship with the Marlins.
Yes, sir.
Adrian Beltre and Joe Mauer. Catcher originally, local guy in Minnesota, first base. Now, please, can you make sure it's a verified source?
Joe Biden, in the letter that he wrote.
Oh, so it's a clean source. I get that. From the horse's mouth.
You know what? Let me.
You want me to get a couple things going real quick?
Let me do this. Let me do this.
Let me do a quick couple of headlines. I don't want to bury the lead, but make sure we got everything together and right. And I'll do a couple quick headlines so that people can get caught up on that. And then you're going to catch me up because, Vlad, I have no idea what's going on. I'm living in a tunnel right now.
Yeah, he posted it on his Twitter. That my fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I knew none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcome a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you as president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do. And when we do it together, we just have to remember we are the United States of America.
Okay.
So President Biden will be stepping down from the campaign.
I do see
an election.
In the other room, they have CNN and Fox News on. I didn't select either channel, so don't judge me.
No.
Both are reporting it.
Yeah. But yeah, he posted this on his X. Wow, even the president of the United States when he wants to make some moves, he's got to go to social media.
That's where we go now. That is the public forum that we live in. The city, what do you call it? The kiosk, the public kiosk that we go to. So, all right, well. Sorry, Jim Leland. It was nice that we appreciate you getting that championship here with the Marlins, and you're into the Hall of Fame. But a lot of crazy things going on right now.
Wow. Okay.
Marlins, they're playing right now against the Mets. It's tied 0-0 in the top of the second. Jazz Chisholm, he's got the team's only hit, but it's only once again the second inning. So that's also something to keep you up to date on. Maybe not breaking news, but news. Got some more news for you. Try to get to these headlines. Got to get through a golf leaderboard from the Open Championship. It is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Get there. Congratulations. We have a winner.
Mr. Scheffler.
Xander Scheffler.
Dude, he shot 6 under in the final round of a major to win his second major of the year. He won the PGA, and now he won the Open Championship. So pretty much golf of the year is Xander Scheffler.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel kind of bad for the Irishman Shane Lowry.
Too bad, boss.
About 2.5 days, he was in the lead, and he finished in 6th. It happens, man. As they say, the Open is brutal.
But dude, to shoot 6 under?
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
Especially when it counts the most.
Exactly.
He earned every second of that right there. He earned that one for sure. 2-time Super Bowl champion linebacker Shaq Barrett has retired. So you see, he was just getting ahead of Joe Biden retiring. Shaq Barrett said, "You know what? I'm going to try to steal his thunder." He had signed a 1-year deal with the Dolphins for $9 million. That leaves rookies Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara as the only healthy edge rushers pretty much going into camp, because we know Cameron Good on the PUP list. We know that Jalen Phillips on the PUP list and Bradley Chubb on the PUP list. So we're going to be relying heavily on new defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver and some of these young guys, or maybe some more veterans that we can find in the market to kind of get us some edge rushing until we get our main guys back healthy and going. LeBron James made a layup with 8 seconds left to help Team USA avoid an upset by South Sudan. Final score 101-100. Bam Adebayo added 4 points. Next up, Germany tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That is the final preparation game for the Olympics. They are going to be starting Sunday. We know Team USA. So a week from today, they'll be playing. The women's Team USA lost 117-109 at the WNBA All-Star game last night. WNBA, things are going good. So good that I think in next year, since there's not going to have to be a break for Olympics or anything like that, expanding from 40 to 44 games. That's how much the WNBA is growing, that they're thinking about adding 4 more games to the schedule.
Good for them. Good for them.
That is, and if that keeps going, then they're, like we talked about earlier, they're going to expand teams too. They're going to probably have a few more teams, kind of like what MLS has done. As the sport has grown and become more successful, they've been continuing to add more teams. I think next up, San Diego coming to MLS. They have a women's side team on the NWSL, but they're about to start having a men's side. And David Beckham has promised his wife, Victoria Beckham, that Inter Miami will get a women's side team. That is very exciting to me, because we were talking yesterday, to go to an NWSL game, Vlad, I might have to fly out to Los Angeles or Louisville. Pretty much the same place, but
Wait, what? Los Angeles or Louisville? Ain't pretty much the same place. What's wrong with you?
I'm joking. I do like Louisville, though. I mean, I love LA, but I do like Louisville. Louisville. It's soccer town. Sort of. I don't know. Nonetheless, MLS, Inter Miami, no Messi, no problem again. They win 2-1 over the Chicago
Fire. Was that 6 out of 7 without Messi?
Yes, 6 out of 7 without Messi. They lead in points in all of MLS, because last night Cincinnati lost and we won. So we were already ahead by a point or two. Now we're up by 5 points with a 3 last night. Messi, though, we talked to Daniel Solana yesterday, our soccer expert. He said the rough outline initially was 40 days for Messi with that type 2 ankle sprain. He said it's still just very questionable. So don't expect Messi in the lineup, especially with Inter Miami winning now, anytime soon. They're in no rush to get him back. Although they did honor him last night at Chase Stadium for winning the Copa America. Did you see that?
They did?
He hobbled out there at the beginning of the game. They said, "Hey, Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, hey, Copa America champion once again, hey." And he hobbled back. Watch this team. Jordi Alba, you heard in the last segment, the highlight, he scored a goal, ran over and hugged Messi on the sidelines.
Yeah,
very much love right there. Messi just taking it in as an owner now and not as a player until he can get healthy again. Make a run in the MLS playoffs. Now, remember, MLS playoffs, there is no aggregate. It's not like a lot of other soccer leagues. It is a one and done.
Yeah, it's just one
tournament.
game.
Yeah.
One game, that's it. It's not a home and home.
They have wild card, they have play in, but it is not a home and home aggregate where, the goals and the home goals and the away goals and everything else like that. So MLS, more of a United States style soccer tournament, which throws me off, because when you watch like UEFA Champions League and stuff like that, they do the home and home, but then when they get to the final, it's winner take all, one game, like a Super Bowl. I always thought, like, why don't they continue that, home and away? I guess it takes away some of the suspense.
Yeah.
But I don't want to short Mateus Rojas. He also got a goal yesterday for Inter Miami. They play Puebla Saturday at 8. Puebla Liga MX, Mexico's lead. Very good team. Pueblo and Tigres, two teams that are in Inter Miami's group. Very formidable opponents in League MX. My favorite Mexico team, though, is America. They're from Mexico City.
Okay.
They were good last year. They're usually pretty good. The Marlins, let's get you another update on them. Let's see if any action has happened. No, it's still scoreless. Them and the Mets. So the Marlins are now going on. I mean, how many innings that they haven't scored because they didn't score yesterday? They lost 1-0. 1-0.
They won Friday, so we're good with that. They are going into 11 innings of no score.
At least.
Well, no, 10 innings because they're in the bottom of the second.
And didn't they? Well,
10 innings and 1/3. 10 and a third.
I think they scored in the 8th the other night to
Friday.
win. Yeah, so that would be one extra inning. Yeah.
So it'd be 11 and a third innings they haven't scored.
All right. Some more firepower. The trade deadline's coming up. Be ready. And Australia's Oscar Piastri has won F1's Hungarian Grand Prix. All right, let's go ahead right now and win by stepping into the day spa. A woman's best friend wants her to open up her marriage. Why? Because the friend wants a piece of that action.
Whoa. What action, though? The boyfriend?
Both sides.
Oh.
Love triangle.
See, this is weird, right?
Go ahead. Break this one down for me.
Because, like, you got to look at Shorty, right? Like, that girl wants the same thing her friend has, but literally wants the exact thing that the friend has. And that usually messes up really. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, sir, Cousin, you gave us a story about a couple who were engaged to get married. They wanted to have one more crazy fling. They wanted to have a threesome. They included her friend, right? They got drunk. They had sex, and then 2 months later, she was pregnant.
The friend?
The friend was pregnant with the
groom to be.
The groom to be, right.
Baby.
Ooh. And now how does the bride and groom explain it to their family and friends that
technically everything's good?
The maid of honor is pregnant.
It's consensual.
So that's what I'm saying. That's just kind of weird. Like, yo, if you're the dude, you don't say nothing, man. You just keep your mouth shut. Let the ladies have to handle it themselves. But yeah, it was
My always thing is this: how do you breach that conversation? Like, hey, Jenny, I want to talk to you about something. Now, hear me out. Like, how does that go? Oh man, yeah, if you're the dude.
The girlfriend says something about very personal about the boyfriend and themselves that she trusts her friend, and then the friend sees what's going on, and that's it. And plus, the girls probably wanted to make out with each other from the jump already. They probably made out already. They just,
that's starting to make sense. That maybe there's been a little like kissy, something.
Absolutely.
And then she's like, you know what would be really cool? We just go ahead and get that throuple rocking and rolling.
It's big, man. Throuple's big.
Throuples are huge now, man.
It's the thing now.
You hear more and more about them every single day.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Speaking of interesting, Teron Armstead loves Tua. How much, though? We'll find out next on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
favorite station. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Hurry!
So earlier in the week, Teron Armstead was at an offensive tackle symposium. He was talking to one of the ladies I love more than most.
Kay Adams.
Kay Adams.
I worked with her.
What?
Yeah.
What?
NBC Sports Radio.
I love Kay Adams for a multitude of reasons.
Kay is a hardworking woman.
Multitude of reasons I love.
Who I don't think gets the respect that she deserves, because I think people just think because of her, how pretty she is, that's how she gets the work done. But she's a really hard worker.
Yeah, she was great on Good Morning Football.
She was great on yes, she was great on.
And now she does her own thing and does a great thing, and absolutely love her. Well,
Up in Adams.
Yeah, Up in Adams. I follow on X and stuff like that. You know, it's always a great follow. She was actually talking to Teron Armstead, and of course, Tua came up. Came up in conversation with Teron and Kay Adams.
Do you think he deserves to be paid on par with the best in the league?
Of course. Yeah. No, it's gonna happen. You know, of course we stay out of the numbers and negotiations, but it's gonna happen. We need Tua to go anywhere that we're trying to go. All our dreams, goals, and aspirations is reliant on number one. And the Dolphins know that, the organization know that, the city, the league. So the way they iron out the numbers, all that negotiation gets tough in contracts.
Yeah.
Teams start to bring up bad plays, bad games, injuries. You start to get offended. Like, oh man, that's how you really feel. But it's leverage. And once you peel back those layers and you keep it about the business, it'll get done.
So Teron Armstead kind of calming everyone a little bit, saying it's going to get done. It's just one of those things. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of minutia. There's a lot of back and forth. But it's, once again, a player coming out and saying Tua should be paid. He is our guy. He is not just a great player. He is a great leader. We heard Tyreek Hill say that last week. Teron Armstead now saying that. Of course, Teron, a wily vet. He's been around for a while. He knows what he's talking about. But yet, the organization has yet to offer Tua that big deal. You think Teron Armstead is speaking the truth right there, that it's going to get done? Everybody knows it's cool. It's just one of those negotiation things. Or do you think
I think it's done already.
You think it's done already?
Yeah, I just think they're waiting for Tuesday to announce it, because we've been to the locker rooms many times in practices. Isn't Wednesday usually the day that the quarterback talks to the media? And it just so happened that the first day of Dolphins practice is a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, maybe to complicate things a little more, of course, Teron making us feel better that, things are going to get done. Tua, the Dolphins, long-term relationship. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler weighed in on the situation, and he recently said, quote unquote, the Dolphins got a little spooked by the growth of salaries at the position. He says 2 major contracts changed the landscape drastically this offseason. Jared Goff signed a $212 million contract with the Lions. Trevor Lawrence is now tied for the league's highest paid player at $55 million.
But this is where the BS starts, Cousin. Jared Goff has been in the forefront of the resurgence of the Detroit Lions in the last 2 seasons. Okay? The Detroit Lions were on Hard Knocks 2 years ago. They almost made the playoff 2 years ago. And they still knocked off Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers to stop them from making the playoffs. But they finished with a 500 record that season.
Mm-hmm.
What happened the next season? They got to the NFC Championship game with a chance to win. With a chance to win the NFC Championship game. So if Jared Goff already had proven, we look at his resume. His resume is pretty damn good. You know what I mean? A Super Bowl appearance, 2 NFC championships, and resurging a city, a fan base. Like we didn't know there were that many Detroit Lions fans since Barry had retired. Now you have Detroit Lions fans everywhere. Detroit Lions games are must-watch TV now, according to the NFL. They have them on primetime games as much this season, a lot this season. So therefore, Jared Goff deserved it. Now, Trevor, I don't know about Sunshine. I know you had to pay him, but everybody from that draft class, Kuzan, he's the best, and he's been mid. Everybody else has been caca. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I don't think Jacksonville was in a position where they can't give him the extension, but knowing what the market is, and if you're a smart team to me, and you have the people that handle the money, these are things you should see. You know what I'm saying? This is something you should have seen from last year when the contracts were being offered and quarterbacks were signing that extension. You had to see that money was going to go up. So therefore, if you don't want to go and go over your limit, pay that man now.
Well, Chris Fowler says he's a little spooked because of these high prices, but he's kind of backing you up a little bit. He further goes on SportsCenter to say this: I think things could heat up starting next week, meaning this coming week. Miami gets back to training camp, and negotiations and negotiators are all in the same building. They can sort of recalibrate, figure out their game plan. But my sense, after asking around, is they were a little spooked by the ballooning quarterback market with Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence pushing that $55 million per year mark, because now Tua can say, hey, look, I led the league in passing last year. You wanted me to show I'm durable. So he played a full 17 games. That costs a lot of money. So he's saying maybe now that everybody's in the same building, they can finally start hashing out some of these details and getting everything going. That does actually kind of make a little bit of sense. Continue on. So Miami has to come to grips with that. I just don't think they've been in the ballpark quite yet, but they are committed to trying to get it done. I expect around training camp for it to heat up a little bit. So he's saying, Vlad, maybe you're right. Right there, right before training camp, maybe right when they get in the same building, they get it done.
Playboy, let me tell you this. They don't want Wednesday to come and he's not taking first team snaps. You see Mike White taking first team snaps, and you see Tua just on the sideline working out, but not involved in team activities. If this is similar to the Christian Wilkins situation from last year, that's what everybody's going to be talking about during camp.
Of course, that's going to be as long as nobody gets hurt. Number one storyline is Tua in the contract, no matter what. And like I said, unless someone gets hurt. Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, they're the most vocal guys on the team. They both come out and said Tua is our leader, and he's a great quarterback. He deserves to get paid like that. But nothing's happened yet. So Adam Schefter now weighs in.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So if the Dolphins are afraid of like the market, the quarterback market, how it went up with the last two, with the signings that Goff and Lawrence did with their contracts, what do you think is going to happen with the wide receiver position?
Yeah, they know they have to pay Tyreek.
Right, and they had to pay. They knew they had to pay Waddle. So, but weren't they looking at the wide receiver market and see what happened with AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson? Or you don't think Tyreek's going to want? Come on, man! Like, what are we doing here?
Well, what do their actions say? If they pay both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and put Tua on the back burner, what are their actions saying?
They saying that they still don't believe in Tua
and that they value the wide receiver position more.
So then have Mike White start.
Yeah, I mean that if you're gonna talk that talk, walk that walk.
Yeah, I don't think you want Mike. Hey man, I like Mikey Blanco for the little time he was with the Jets, but I don't know if you want him to be your starter.
You might not want to hang the franchise on his shoulders, but Adam Schefter make you feel a little bit better if you're a Dolphins fan. Once again, the Dolphins have been very clear they want to pay Tua Tagovailoa. Goes on. The question is, what is fair market value? And that's a moving bar, because a couple of weeks ago, it would have been easy to argue, hey, we don't know what he's worth. The money the Bengals are paying Joe Burrow, which is $55 million on average. But then Trevor Lawrence comes along and he gets $55 million a year on average. So when that happens, the market shifts. So it seems like week one, Trevor Lawrence really messed up a lot of things for this Dolphins organization.
You know what you should do? You should bust their ass. That'd be funny.
This is the thing. When you look at Jared Goff has the track record. He's been to a Super Bowl. Darn near came a play away from going to the Super Bowl last year. He's revived the city. And the other argument is this: the Detroit Lions are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. You can't play around with that.
Fam,
this is your window.
He replaced a legend in that city
that never won a playoff game, but go ahead.
He was they traded him. He was living in La La Land, thinking life was good. They traded him to Detroit. No disrespect to Detroit. Detroit's totally different than LA. He had no problem. He took on the role as being the leader. of this franchise. Dan Campbell loved him, supported him. The players out there, they love him, support him, and that fan base have come to love and support him. I can't not be mad that the Detroit Lions took care of their quarterback.
Well, look, it's like going all in a poker game.
Right.
That's their move, going all in. Look, they were this close to going
They
to the
were
Super Bowl.
really close to going
They
to the Super
expect
Bowl.
to be not this close this year. They expect to get in. You can't sit there and say, well, we'll see. You say everyone's in. This is our year. You have to do that. Once again, the Miami Dolphins, with their actions, what are they saying? We're not all in
On Tua.
But then if you're not all in on your quarterback, how are you going to win a Super Bowl without a good quarterback?
If
Or a
you're
quarterback
not all
you
in
don't
on
believe
your,
in?
if you're not all in on your
Then
quarterback,
you're not all in.
Are you all in with your coach?
You're not all in with anything.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because the coach has said from the minute he got that job, Tua's has been his guy, and Tua's been his quarterback. And you've seen the improvement that Tua's had under the tutelage of Mikey
McDaniel.
Fit. You know what I mean? I call him Mikey Fit because he's always wearing Nike Fit clothes, so I call him Mikey Fit. For those who are listening, wonder, why are you calling Coach McDaniel Mikey Fit? So, yeah, Coach has done a tremendous job with Tua. That's his guy. Coach has led you to 2 playoff appearances. Seems like to be your guy for a good while. Let him ride with his quarterback.
Adam Schefter goes on, make you feel a little bit better. And so the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are left to figure out what is the proper value for a quarterback of his ability. Look, the Dolphins want to keep him. They're expected to keep him. They're going to get him signed at some point. The question is, what is the number? So where there's smoke, there's fire. You're hearing the Dolphins want him. He wants the Dolphins. It's just they got to figure out a number. Tua wants this. The Dolphins want to pay this. When does it get sticky, Vlad? Wednesday?
It's about to get
Wednesday?
sticky. No, it gets sticky tomorrow, bro.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. It's actually sticky now. It's sticky icky.
It's not. I wouldn't go sticky icky.
I'm going to tell you why.
I'll say sticky.
It's going to get sticky icky tomorrow because the voice of the Dolphins, Joe Rose, will be here. That's all he's going to be talking about tomorrow.
Okay.
Tobin and Leroy will be on tomorrow, this week, beginning 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'll be producing the show with them. I know that's what they're going to be talking about. Hawk and Grotto will be talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about the Tua's contract situation up until training camp begins on Wednesday.
But is there something to Jeremy Fowler saying these guys are all going to be in the building? They can finally just hash things out. It'll be easier.
But my question is this: do you need to be in the building to hash out something? Can't
I
you just
do.
do that on phone? Can't do that to Zoom,
I personally,
FaceTime? We can't meet up at a restaurant and have dinner and talk about it? I got to wait till my player is coming back from whatever vacation he was on to get ready for training camp?
you're probably going back and forth, and you probably say about a week or two ago, you know what? Let's just put everything on hold till we can all see each other in person when we get to Miami for training camp.
Yeah, but you know how many players that agent might have to be going around training camps to go talk to? This is something that should be done now. That way you don't have that headache. Like, think about that, bro.
Well, they couldn't come to an agreement. That's the problem.
But that's because somebody wasn't trying to spend money. Clearly, when he says the market is the market, and now that what you're reading right now explains why he said the market's the market, Miami's not trying to give that man $50 million.
No, that's what Schefter and Fowler are telling you right
They're
there.
trying to give him like the Daniel Jones deal.
The thing that throws the kink into it is not Jared Goff.
It's Daniel Jones.
It's Trevor Lawrence.
No,
it's Daniel Jones.
No, it's Daniel
Kirk
Jones.
Cousins.
Here's the other thing, Cousin. At least Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence were number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Tua was number 5.
Yeah.
So I can understand giving the franchise quarterback the number 1 pick. Jacksonville let you know they're riding with Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, they've done that twice. Remember the year Trevor Lawrence, after his rookie year, they had the number 1 overall pick that they traded off because they said they were riding with him. So they've proven
No,
it.
Didn't they draft a defensive player?
Oh, they drafted defense.
Yeah,
but they didn't get a quarterback when they could have.
No, they're not going to get another quarterback. They riding with Sunshine. Sunshine's was one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in
Of all
like the
time.
last 10, 15 years since Andrew Luck. So yeah, I can understand that. And he won a playoff game for you. He won a division and he won a playoff game for you. Last year they were 500. They should have been better, but they struggled.
They kind of fell apart.
They fell apart. Maybe it was just that, third season, you just fall apart, but you get back up. But he's got the talent, and he could win in this league.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're not doing that with Tua.
It makes no sense. Maybe they're just spooked about the price tag, and they realize
Spook about what, bro? You didn't pay Christian Wilkins. You just gave Waddle the money.
they
You
realize
that
that Tyreek is coming down the line.
Tyreek, and then what's next? Ramsey?
Ramsey can't keep them all.
You signed Austin Jackson. You know he's there for the next 4 years.
Maybe they're just waiting. They expect the salary cap to go up next year, and they're like, "Look, Tua, if things don't work out, you'll
Yeah,
get
but
paid
you do
next year."
understand next year you franchise tagging him, right?
Possibly,
And then you're gonna have to give him a $53 million,
and that goes directly against the cap.
and that's directly against the cap. So do you want to pay? Do you want to be directly against the cap for $53 million?
I'm not that guy. I'm not Chris Greer. I'm not the Dolphins brass. I think they should just get the deal done. The sooner the better, because that, once again, the market, as we've heard, is a moving bar, and I don't see the bar going down, Vlad. It's going to go up. So go ahead, pay him, get happy. Tell all the players that said he should be our guy, we got to pay him. We did what you said. We made you happy. Let's go in there. Let's win some playoff games. Let's get to an AFC championship game. Let's see what happens. That's what I would do. But then again, it's not what the Dolphins have done yet. But maybe there's a deal in the works. Maybe there's an announcement being made this week, or maybe they're just waiting to get in the building to kind of just hash out the finer points. We'll find out. The good thing is Tua doesn't force their hand yet. He goes, he's a good soldier, he practiced, he says, I'll play no matter what. It's a contract, it's a deal. Sometimes that's to his benefit, sometimes maybe that's to his detriment, but it is who he is. There's nothing more I can say. Would I be that nice of a person? I can't say I would.
Not for $53 million, B.
Crazy. All right. That's something right there. Let's do something or nothing next here on 560 WQAM. There's all types of craziness going on in the world.
Dude, I just got on my socials.
I know Biden's dropping out of the race. We know that. Tua doesn't have a contract yet. We got all types of craziness going on in F1. But Vlad just has breaking news, even more.
Yeah. Well, this was actually broken 2 days ago. But the
Breaking
shade room talked to Director of Retail Business Development for Hello Kitty. And she revealed that Hello Kitty is not a cat, but a little girl.
No.
Yep.
I know. Here I was for years thinking it was a kitty.
I always thought it was a cat.
Goodness gracious. What in the world? What's this world coming to?
I was today when they told me that Hello Kitty's not a cat.
I've been shocked by both.
So wait, what if it was a mess up and the name of the product was Hello Kathy?
Yeah, no. Like it's a typo. Man, this thing won't go over anyway. Who cares? Just call it Hello Kitty. Now, is the little girl's name Kitty? And then you got I don't own a lot of Hello Kitty, so I couldn't tell you too much about it.
I have a lady friend who that's all she buys and everything like that. So it's rather annoying.
I was going to ask you a question, but I decided to holster that question.
Okay.
About the lady, but she was just a big Hello Kitty fan.
She's just a big Hello Kitty fan.
That's cool, man. I mean, I think it's cool looking. I mean, as a grown, you could argue a grown man. There's people that argue that I'm not a grown man. Nonetheless, I didn't do a lot of Hello Kitty stuff, but man, I think it's cool stuff. And now I know no, I don't think it's cool. It's a little girl. I thought it was a kitty, but we know now. 2 things we have learned in these past hours. Something else you can learn. Something or nothing. Cavs and Evan Mobley have agreed to a 5-year, $224 million extension. Is that something or nothing, Vlad?
It's nothing because just talking about where we were with the Tua situation, that's what the market is for these rookies after they play 3 years. They are eligible to get the 5-year, $240 million extension, and good for him.
And they're trying to keep Donovan Mitchell happy. And
that's for 2 years. And, you can move him. You can move that contract in another 2-3 years because it won't be that much left on the contract.
Did you hear about this? The Raiders are holding training camp in Southern California, but they cannot advertise and really even talk about it because the NFL has a deal with the Rams and the Chargers. They hold territorial marketing rights in Southern California.
So wait, is this weren't they practicing in Vegas before?
They were, but they're doing their training camp.
Why is that?
That's where they've chosen to do their training camp.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, it's not about that. What makes sense is that they can't put like advertisements.
No, I know that, but I'm
limited
just saying,
practices and attendance and stuff
where
like
they're
that.
playing their home games. Are they going to play their home games in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. Why wouldn't they just practice in Vegas?
Trying to get away from Vegas.
Why are you trying to
teams do that all the time. Miami's one of the rare teams that still has.
No, I know the Cowboys. Cowboys go to California.
Yes.
They go to Oxnard.
Yep.
So how come the Cowboys are able to go to Oxnard in California and the Raiders are not able to advertise?
Because they're within the Rams and Chargers territorial marketing rights.
Wouldn't the Cowboys be within? Oh,
I think Oxnard is a little more further north.
Yeah.
And
Oxnard's
don't worry, the NFL will draw a line where they need to draw a line.
I'm trying to figure out where they're practicing at, bro.
It's in LA.
I know, but where? If it's, the Chargers have their area and the Rams have their area. Where would they be practicing?
Look it up if you really want to go to their practice.
USC? Are they practicing? Because I know Antonio Pierce is from LA. He's from Compton. So, but I just don't understand why they wouldn't have them just practice in Nevada. You have all the facilities and training equipment out there. I don't know. That's a waste of money to me. Waste of money and time.
See. They're in Orange County, it says. LA or Orange County, they have no rights there, nor will the practice fans VIP. They're at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex, about 40 miles from SoFi Stadium.
Why would they be at a sports complex?
Let's see what the Jack Hammett Sports Complex is.
I gotta call JT and find out what's going on.
You're very interested in the story. I thought it would be an interesting story. Then Costa Mesa doesn't have any ties to anything.
Bro, they moved to Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why they were trying to get out of the state of California, and then now they're practicing back in the state of California. They're just
at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex.
And at a sports complex,
Costa Mesa. Trying to see if there's any alignment with that in any school or any type of thing. No, just developmental fields. Okay. They want to get back to Southern California. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with there. Maybe it's a little more better climate. Maybe they were in LA for a while back in the day. I loved them as the LA Raiders, but what are you gonna do? Lady Gaga back in the
All right,
studio.
I got it. I got the answer. It's Antonio Pierce wanted to get away from Las Vegas. It's about team bonding.
There you go.
When I played, we never stayed at our facility. Shut the hell up.
That's logical.
You're about to get fired in a year and a half.
Hey, have you said your prayers today, Vlad?
I did, but to me, that's just a jackass. That just makes no sense.
You're just mad that people don't want to be in Vegas. That's okay.
I just don't see why upend and waste money to go to California when you have everything right here at your disposal.
Because he said team bonding, and he didn't like being
team bonding. Well, you know what? Team bonding's easy. Just put them in, get a dorm room, and have them stay there for like the first 4 weeks. That's what everybody else does.
When the Raiders make the playoffs.
Yeah, okay. When I'm sexy?
Nope, this year.
They ain't making no playoffs this year.
Good team. Good team.
Gardner miss you, please.
Lady Gaga back in the studio for LG7. Is that something or nothing?
I guess for the Lady Gaga fans. I didn't even know she had 6.
I didn't know either.
I didn't even know she had 6 albums already.
She's kind of branched out in her career with the acting and all the other stuff. So we'll see. Man refuses to support his sister who's on hard times. The only thing is the sister is a single mother. Is that something or nothing?
Nah, you got to help your sister. Well, it all depends on why y'all beefing.
I don't think there's any beef.
Oh, well, then you got to help your sister. There's no beef.
He said, he's got to take care of himself.
Oh, I mean, we all do.
There you go. Bald eagles have been attacking locals in Alaska lately, and officials are warning just to steer clear of bald eagles. Is that something or nothing?
Aren't they extinct?
No. They're off the endangered species list.
Okay. Well, I guess they're making their comeback.
I say these colors don't run, man. You know you're in a strong country when your official, I guess, animal or whatever is out there attacking people, letting people know. Come at me. Come at me.
Don't mess with me.
A man in India, you'll like this one, Vlad, wants to start an initiative and fund vending machines for street dogs.
Hey, yo.
Something or nothing.
No, that's something that I'm not registering or want to be part of.
I'm guessing they put vending machines for street dogs so like people can get them treats and snacks, and not that the dogs
But dog, the street dog's inside a vending machine. You know how long that dog's been inside that vending machine?
No, it's a vending machine for street dogs.
Oh, it's a vending machine for street dogs.
Yeah, it's not a vending machine where you get a dog out.
No, I thought when you talk about street dog, I thought you were talking about hot dogs.
No. I'm talking about actual, how packs of dogs.
No, I get it, but when you say street dog, that's a hot dog.
Right. I guess I should have been more clear.
Yeah, you should have been more clear.
And not so much in the States, but when you go to other countries, there are packs of street dogs in the city that run around, and the guy wants to start a vending machine.
So he's gonna put the dog inside a vending machine?
No, he's gonna have the dogs, our humans, go get them food. Like you would go to the vending machine here, he would have them out on the street, and it would have treats and snacks for street dogs.
Yeah, dogs don't need all that. That's a little too much.
Those street dogs have a pretty good life, to be honest with you, man.
It's just a little too much.
It's good life.
Enough.
Dr. Nina Cash, she's a 57-year-old California woman who has gray hair and models bikinis in her spare time and says, I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Hey, man, those silver hair beauties are nice.
I say, do you?
There's one. I think her name's Silver Beauty Jennifer.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Dr. Nina Cash. I think being a doctor, but she says she likes on the side hustle.
She got an OnlyFans?
I know. I think she's more of a doctor than a model.
Hey, there's a lot of actresses that,
57-year-old gray hair. I do like when the ladies embrace their gray hair sometimes. I've known some even younger ladies that are in like their late 20s. They go out there and they say, you know what? I'm going to embrace the gray streak.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's all right.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful lady.
She's okay.
Last but not least.
She's a model.
Yeah, she models bikinis. That's what I said. She's a model of bikinis.
What is she a doctor? Oh, she's a retired associate dean. Oh, okay. So she might have gotten her PhD in education.
She's got her PhD, so she's not like a medical doctor, but still pretty good, man. But now you got a little something else to fall back on. You keep your body tight and right.
My body's nice though.
I'm glad you do the research though. That means a lot to me. Andrea Sunshine of London is a ripped granny that has 544,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? Are you going to mature sites and everything? Let's take the second mature that you're talking about ripped body and you know and followers and the whole nine.
As we say, I'm trying to pull a string through, man.
What's her name?
Her name is Andrea Sunshine
Andrea
of
Sunshine.
London. A ripped granny that has 544,000
Oh
followers on
wow!
Instagram. I couldn't pull up all the pictures. My computer was
It's
acting
not
up.
even that. It's just the first picture you see.
Is she ripped?
Oh, she's got 6-pack of abs.
It always
A solid 6-pack.
It's interesting. Like I go to the gym pretty much, five days a week, and you see people come in sometimes. Maybe they're a little out of shape, or maybe they're in shape.
She has an OnlyFans.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Andrea Sunshine with
Yeah.
that type of name. Yeah. But you see people come in, and like the people that get hardcore, sometimes they get like super muscular, women and men, and I'm like, you really dedicated yourself to the gym, and it's like, man, sometimes it's a little too much. But dude, hey, look. If I could have an OnlyFans, I would too. I'm not gonna lie.
Please don't.
I mean, you can't have one if you don't have many subscribers.
I think we've seen her before, bro.
Oh, is she a repeat on the something?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just something about a ripped granny that has tons of Instagram followers. It excites me.
Okay. Well, yeah. Shout out to Andrea Sunshine
Do your thing.
and Dr.
Nina Cash.
Nina Cash. Yeah.
Good job. Stay healthy. Stay fit.
Stay healthy.
Next, final hour of the show, 560 WQAM. Some of the big stories on this July 21st, 2024, 3 p.m. Eastern Time here in South Florida. Tua Tagovailoa still no contract. Shaq Barrett, he also has no contract. He retired last night, passing up on that 1-year, $9 million deal he was supposed to be doing with the Miami Dolphins, further making the edge rushing for the Dolphins a little more thin. Inter Miami, no Messi, no problem. They got a big win last night, 2-1 over the Chicago Fire. Jordi Alba got the game-winning goal in the 7th or 8th minute. They lead MLS in all scores. The Marlins have not scored in 13 innings.
And they're down 1-0.
And they're down 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Of course, Marlins did make the playoffs last year, but that was a totally different team and organization. So, well, not totally different, but very different with Kim Ang. Kim Ang, she's staying busy. She is on the board of directors now for the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York for baseball, which they're inducting Adrian Beltre right now. Love Adrian Beltre. Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Jim Leland.
That's a good 4.
Marlon, great. Yeah, I love it, man. That's absolutely awesome. So, Summer League going on. Miami Heat, they're into the Final Four tournament. They've had a great run. They won every game in Las Vegas, and they've won every game pretty convincingly in Vegas. So, we'll continue to watch Khalil Ware. We're very excited about the possibilities. He looks very athletic and seems like he's got it going on. Hopefully, he can be a big contributor on this Miami Heat team. And then Joe Biden has dropped out of the presidential race. He's still the president of the United States, but he was dropping out of the race as the Democratic national candidate. He has backed Kamala Harris, but we don't know what that means. That just means that's who he would like.
They ain't got nobody else to run.
Man,
we in July 21st. The election's November.
I would say you're eligible, Vlad.
I got peoples.
You're eligible.
Our peoples.
It's not what it used to be, man. Like,
when's the convention? Is that like in another week or two?
It's got to be either this week or next week because the Republicans had their in Milwaukee this past week.
Right.
I mean, I could look it up, but I also like to find out what city it is, man.
It's probably going to be in where was it last? It was in Milwaukee, right? For the men?
Republicans.
For the Republicans?
Yes.
Probably be like Cleveland. No, it probably would be like
when is
what's a good Democratic state?
Wait, what is it? The story's been updated. Okay, yeah.
All right, I'll tell you right now. Here we go.
August 19th. So
August 19th?
Wow, yeah. It's going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, of course it's going to be in Chicago.
Well, at least it gives them a little time. DNC will be held August 19th through the 22nd in Chicago.
So that gives them a month.
That gives them some time.
They got a month to get their candidate right to lose, but it's all right.
Oh, man, this has been a crazy. First, I didn't think anything could top Shaq Barrett retiring abruptly, but now this.
I know. I still think finding out Hello Kitty's not a kitty. It's a girl. That kind of shocked me more than Biden deciding to gracefully bow out.
It's been a shocking day. Really has. And I've been real mellow today, man. I've been real mellow.
You all right?
Mellow, man. But it is shocking. There's all these shocking things happening. So, we'll try
I might follow.
Who are you going to follow?
Miss Sunshine.
Oh, we talked about in the last segment.
Yeah.
Andrea Sunshine.
Andrea Sunshine and Dr. Nina Cash.
And Dr. Nina Cash. You gave me a hard time about 50 some odds looking buff and looking good, but
they look good.
Hey, we talked about this, not to get too far off the subject. Some of these grannies, quote unquote, that have, super bodies and stuff like that, working out like 3 to 8 hours a day.
That's what she does.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
I can do it. I do about an hour and 15 minutes Monday through Friday. And I did, man. Like today, you couldn't get me in the gym. Could not get me in the gym.
Hey, man. You gotta get back into the gym. Get back in shape.
Monday. Monday
Yeah,
fun
it
day.
is. That's what tomorrow's for. Just another manic Monday.
No, man. Okay. So
Headlines.
We talked about Shaq Barrett. He has retired. He got a 1-year, $9 million deal with Dolphins. That leaves Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara, the two rookies, as the healthy edge rushers going into camp on Wednesday.
And that probably was like a 1-year, $6 million contract. There were probably bonuses that he probably had to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. But I mean, he would have kind of helped with some veteran leadership and giving you some quality snaps. Oh man, that's interesting. But it does free up $9 million or $6 million, however you want to look at it. We'll see.
Wait, if you retire, you're not against the cap, are you?
No, I can't. Can it be?
I'm gonna look.
It might be though, because remember we were talking about Teron Armstead. If he retires, you gotta pay him because it's a contract. That's dirty business though. If you sign a contract and then retire and take the money,
Nasty work.
Man, that's tough. There's got to be some type of contingency in there. It's got to free up some space. Might still have to give him $1 million or something like that. But okay. The Heat, they do enter the Final Four Summer League tournament today as they face the Warriors coming up at 4:00. If they do win, they play tomorrow in the championship. So we'll see. The Heat have been good. They got the Warriors today at 4. Then they go to hopefully the championship game on Monday.
All right, I have an answer.
What's up?
In the realm of NFL contracts, everything appears perfectly logical, provided the player stays with the contract until the end. On the surface, the notion of following through with the contract seems straightforward. After all, the players being compensated for playing a game. But if he does retire, just like teams can end contracts, players can also decide to do this. But in their case, it's called retiring. When a player retires, it's similar to being cut by the team. And the same rule about June 1st applies here too. So, for example, if a player we talked about earlier chose to retire instead of being cut, the money would be treated the same way as if the team cut him. If he officially retires on or after June 1st, the money is counted as if he was cut on or after June 1st.
So he still does get some money. It goes against some of it goes against
the money's going to go against the cap.
Oh.
But if a player retires, the team can ask for part of their signing bonus back, equal to the parts of the contract that the player didn't play. The money doesn't count against the salary cap anymore. So an arbitrator usually decides on this case, but it's known as the Barry Sanders rules because that's what happened in his case. He had to give back part of his bonus. The difference now that there are clear rules written in the CBA to handle this kind of situation.
So there's probably going to be an arbitrator and arbiter, and we'll find out how much money is owed to Shaq Barrett and how much money he owes back to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what happens. The team still realized cost savings. So if anything happened after June 1st, yeah, he was locked in for the salary.
Yep. So an arbiter from the CBA and the NFL will
have to figure it out.
And we'll find out.
That's messed up, though.
Ooh. And I want to believe that Shaq Barrett, in all honesty, just has come to this conclusion recently. I hope he didn't.
I think I think he wanted to retire a long time ago, but
why sign a deal and
one more year? You're still in Florida. You're still able to play the game you love. You might love the game. You just probably don't want to go through the daily routine of the game. Man. A lot of time, these guys.
I don't blame them.
They just want to play Sunday. They don't want to go through training camp and all of that.
I don't blame them. Your body can only take so much. The Marlins have ended their scoreless drought. They're now up 3-1.
Oh, they hit a home run?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a home run. 3-1 against the Mets. They're up 3-1 right now. And I was going to say, oh, wait, I'm looking at Pete Alonso's stats. What am I doing? Yeah, Jazz Chisholm is 2 for 3 with a home run, the 3-run home run just now.
Nice.
So the streak ends at 13 innings scoreless. So there you go.
Somebody says from 561, don't even joke about Teron Armstead retiring, please. We would be screwed. He's already going to retire. This is his last season.
He was all pro last year. I mean, he was Pro Bowler last year.
Whatever, bro. Anybody can be Pro Bowl.
I disagree.
Yeah, anybody. Come on, man. Man missed like 5 games and he still was a Pro Bowl. Come on. Anybody can be Pro Bowl.
He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, okay.
I remember when Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler a couple of years back.
And what was he, like the backup quarterback of the Ravens?
Yeah, he's from
I think nobody else was going to the game. That's why they had to pick him
from Hollandale Beach.
I think that's why. But
Hollandale High.
Yeah,
that one did throw me off a little bit when you said anyone can do it. I was like, no, not everyone. But I was like,
anybody can do it.
He only played like 3 games that year too. LeBron James made a layup with 8 seconds left to help Team USA avoid an upset by South Sudan, 101-100. Bam Adebayo added 4 points. They face Germany tomorrow, 3 o'clock, final warm-up before the Olympics. I heard Steve Kerr after the game saying that they kind of sleptwalked and overlooked South Sudan, who's a better team than most people are giving credit. Kind of like what you said, Vlad, like, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Kind of rested on their laurels. He said, we can't make those mistakes anymore because you see how competitive and how the rest of the world has caught up to United States basketball. Australia's Oscar Piastri. He won his first F1 race at the Hungarian Grand Prix.
He was aided.
His teammate slowed down for him.
Basically got the call from the boss and said, hey, let him win. Let the kid win.
There are some texters saying that vice versa has happened in the past, so you can't really take that away from him. He's been told to hold back and not win.
But he's never won a race?
And no, this is his first place finish.
Oh, no. All of y'all, no. I got a chance to win the race and you telling me to why? Because of some man, get out of my face with that.
It's a team sport.
It's not a team sport. I'm driving that car. My life at risk.
Yeah, but there's a pit crew and there's owners and sponsors.
Hey, I could change my own tires if it was going to count against me.
But changing your own tires at a race.
That would be great, by the way.
If you had to do everything.
If you had to do everything, like, all right, I got to come in and then you got to change the tires and everything, because it would take you at least a minute and a half to 2. If you see what these for the individual.
Yeah, you would have to change your brake pads real quick. Like, come on.
But I give them credit, man. That thing's in unison. Where it's like
a lot. I saw years ago a lot of those guys that are in pit crews and girls are former athletes, like college athletes. Because I mean, that's not an easy skill. There's just some guys that work at the local shop. You're like, hey, you know how to change a tire? Come on, let's go. I need you. So they're obviously very good athletes. Women's team USA lost 117-109 to the WNBA All-Stars last night. WNBA going to capitalize off its popularity. Most likely next season going to expand from 40 games to 44 regular season games. Thank you, Caitlin Clark. Thank you, Angel Reese. Of course,
thank you, AJ Wilson.
AJ Wilson. Thank you also.
Kelsey Plum, Diana Taurasi, Griner,
old school Sue Birds.
So what is it? Sabrina
Ionescu.
Brianna Stewart, all of them.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And it seems like after a long time, the WNBA has finally found its footing in what it is and what it wants to be. And it does help that they are kind of star aided and the type of players that they have now. And it's a better product. It's cool. It's fun. It's exciting. So kudos to them. And we'll be watching. We'll be paying attention and we'll watch them expand. Will there ever be another team in Miami? I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things. I would say for right now, no, but I wouldn't rule it out of the total realm of possibilities because big population and there's been a team here before and the WNBA might look to expand. I know that at one time, Brianna Stewart was talking about having like a summer league here in Miami. Do you remember that? When she wanted to have a 3-on-3 summer league so players didn't have to go to Russia to play and make money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still happening. It was mentioned once.
Maybe that's the reason why they're expanding to 44 games. So these ladies don't got to go to another league, another competitor to make
or maybe now that with the whole more
to balance the
popularity,
salaries. Yeah,
maybe with more popularity and the bigger TV deal, maybe there's no necessity to have this 3-on-3.
As a matter of fact, if you really want to do something, it'd be nice if you include some of the if there was like a Big 3 version of the WNBA.
Well, that's what Brianna Stewart was trying to do here in Miami.
Right. It'd be great.
But it was current NBA players in their
But no, that's what I'm saying. It can't be current. It'd be better if it was like retired. Like I wouldn't mind, because I've done the Big 3, the Ice Cube Big 3, and it's actually fun. If you have like a day where you don't want to have kids in the house, but you want to take the kids out, they play like 2 weeks of games in like 3 to 4 hours, and you get to see it's cool. It's actually really cool. So you could do it with the women. Get Cheryl Swoops back.
Ooh.
Get Cheryl Miller, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, maybe Candace Parker. She'll come out of retirement, play a little 3-on-3.
I saw a video of Eric Bledsoe the other day, former NBA player.
Playing 3-on-3, right?
Ooh, man.
Seeing
Tighten up, man. Tighten
Jeff
up.
Teague play on the 3-on-3. Yeah.
Gotta keep balling, man. Gotta keep balling. And we know Kendrick Nunn's playing in Greece right now.
Oh man.
found
Well, we
out
know that
yesterday.
Pat Beverly's in Israel.
That's cool, man. I mean, Pat Beverly's had a long, illustrious career. So,
Come on,
towards the end,
man.
you want to
I
keep
can't.
balling.
I just want to see him win a playoff game in Israel, and then him go on top of the scorers table, the broadcast table,
Start
and just go like
yelling, freaking out.
reenacting that play-in celebration.
With the Minnesota Timberwolves.
They celebrated like they won the NBA title, and it was a play-in victory.
In his defense, it was over his former team.
I don't care.
Patrick Beverly, Arkansas Razorback, great. And there you go. Oh man. Speaking of great, it's always great to take a step into the day spa. Have you ever been on a bad date, Vlad? Have you ever been the reason for a bad date? It's more the reason.
Maybe.
I ain't gonna lie. I think sometimes it's kind of my move. Nonetheless, Australian influencer Annie Knight went on a date with a famous Australian actor. Didn't specify who it was. She says it was miserable because he spent the night name dropping, talking about expensive things he owns. He gave her a lingering hug at the end of the night and then had the audacity to ask her about her sex life. You know what that is.
He's trying to beat.
But yeah, you know what that is. That's, you feel it going down and not going to happen, but you don't want to give up on it. So like you're trying to like throw out some hot names and some hot things.
Well, it all depends. If this is a date, maybe they don't. I mean, they don't click, and then he's trying to have something relatable to talk about to her about because she's an influencer. That's the other thing. An influencer. What kind of label is that? That's a job. That's a job title. You're an influencer. Influencing who?
Influencing society.
You're not influencing. Just on TikTok, on social media. You ain't influencing anybody.
I don't know.
You're not an influencer.
I think their paychecks say differently.
You may have followers, but you don't influence.
Well, this guy's sitting there spitting game, seeing it's not working. Instead of hitting the eject button or just saying, it was a nice time, maybe we'll get together later. Gives her that weird lingering hug at the end, like maybe.
The weird lingering
maybe.
hug, it's kind of creepy.
And then he goes all in with his chips, whatever chips he has left, and says, "So what's your sex life like?"
Why not?
Hoping. I mean, at that point, the night's done.
I don't even think he might just be trolling her. I mean, if he's an actor, he's gonna get any type of,
Right. He can probably do
at any given moment.
So he might as well go all in.
Dude, he probably has one on like ready to call the minute this date is over.
And I mean, if she's an influencer, she's probably getting something out of the deal anyway.
And she's an influencer, so basically, he's probably trying to drop the name that she might be able to understand and relate.
Right. She's probably posting pictures and stuff like that.
If he's acting, he's not going through her social medias to see what she's trying to promote or try to get followers for.
So everybody wins right there.
That's a win-win situation.
Everybody wins. That's okay. And she,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Man, I like to get into the ridiculousness. I search the web sometimes and find people with their ridiculous takes, and we kind of just laugh at them.
There's more?
I know. I found more. You would think they heard us last week and everybody kind of tightened up. Nope. More ridiculousness, more about Tua, more about everything next here on 560 WQAM.
favorite station.
Like we always do with this time. Go for mine. I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky.
Back at it again. Rumors of possible trade scenarios for the Dolphins, especially one Tua Tagovailoa have flown around again. Last week, we talked about all types of weird trades that were happening. And Marissa Myers is back at it again. Last week, she had some crazy ones.
Let me check this for this woman out.
Marissa Myers, new headline: the Dolphins will trade Tua Tagovailoa to the Tennessee Titans. Oh, I know some Dolphins fans shudder at that because of Tannehill, but nonetheless, I'm going to read you through this, Vlad, and tell me if it's crazy. Marissa Myers got this one going for you.
Is it M-Y-E-R-S?
M-Y-E-R-S, yes. Here we go. Are you ready? Set your face to stunned. Talks about Tua becomes intriguing trade option, and if he is traded, it will be to the Tennessee Titans. This is all a prediction based on the Dolphins struggling right at the trade deadline. If they can see they won't make the playoffs, with that being the case, it would become very clear that Tua Tagovailoa is not the franchise quarterback for the Dolphins, and that retooling would need to happen. The way that would happen would be a trade of Tagovailoa while the team still can before he becomes a free agent at the end of the season.
Yo, what's her fascination with Miami, bro? Because she's
a national reporter,
right? But on July 8th, she pinned an article saying that the Miami Dolphins need to trade Tyreek Hill, and the Pittsburgh Steelers make the most sense.
We talked about that last week. Yeah,
that was last week, and then now she's talking about Tua being traded to Tennessee.
Tua's been a decent quarterback for the Dolphins with almost 13,000 yards, 82 touchdowns, 75% adjusted completion percentage. While the playoff success wasn't there last season, the issues frequently come up again. Top-level defenses, but Tua Tagovailoa can lead an offense with the right surrounding system, and she says that system is Tennessee.
Okay.
With the new regime in Tennessee with Brian Callahan at head coach, the offense will see a new light. Callahan has built a reputation for finding players' strengths and building concepts around them, just as he did in Cincinnati with the Bengals.
Hey, Marissa, so did Mike McDaniel.
No, that's what I was thinking. Isn't that exactly what happened with Mike McDaniel?
Oh, God.
With Tennessee, they have a talented team that reflects them going all in on the future after signing Tony Pollard.
They don't have no damn man. What is wrong with this woman?
They didn't make the playoffs last year.
They didn't make the playoffs last year, and they signed a lot of retreads.
Still trying to get to the hook. L'Jarius Sneed was another person. With that, they can't go to the rookie route with Will Levis because he couldn't perform well, and they need an established quarterback, which makes Tua Tagovailoa ideal.
How do we even know Will Levis is not the quarterback? He only played half the season last year. Ryan Tannehill started. Come on, yo, this is ridiculous. You could tell this is somebody who's probably got I think that site just opened, so they probably trying to get as much traffic as they can. So that's why a lot of these articles, to me, sound a little ridiculous.
What about this? With Levis, he could turn out to be a good quarterback, but if he can't find consistency by the deadline, the Titans need to keep their options open to stabilize.
Wait, when did the Titans become a Super Bowl contender?
When they get to a Tagovailoa.
When did that happen? They're not even an AFC South division contender.
For the Dolphins, they'll need to acquire as many picks as possible in the draft to get the right quarterback for Mike McDaniel's system and fill out other roster holes.
They already got the right quarterback for his system.
Overall, this benefits Tagovailoa with giving him a fresh start as well.
Am I wrong if I start going crazy?
She was a beat writer for the Buffalo Bills, so that might be
that I could tell, man. I could tell. I could tell.
You want some more ridiculousness?
Give me more.
Let's go to hockey now. I read this article today. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So going over to SI.com, there was an article that says Oilers named early 2025 Stanley Cup favorites. This article is by Jacob Panturi. Now, he's not the culprit here of the ridiculousness. He goes on to say to this. So NHL reporter Sarah Sivian, she says the real favorites this year are the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, that's believable. They came a game away. They got Connor McDavid. Here's where I start getting crazy. Okay. Sivian recently released her early rankings of the 12 NHL contenders going into next season. She gave props to current champs and some others like the New York Rangers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Dallas Stars. but they all rank below the Oilers. Listen to this. I'm ready. Making the Stanley Cup final, losing in devastating fashion, coming back and winning it all. So hot right now, she wrote. In all seriousness, Vlad, it's almost more difficult to do what the Oilers did and almost come back from the brink of elimination than to win the Stanley Cup itself. I'm out. I'm not reading anymore. So it's almost more difficult for what the Oilers did than what the Panthers did last year. To come back from the brink of elimination than to win the Stanley Cup itself. I would think winning the overall championship is probably the hardest thing to do.
You know what? Maybe they just know how to piss off the South Florida market.
Maybe they're just going in on us, man.
Yeah, that's right. Because come on, man, how you win a Stanley Cup and you're not even like the favorite?
Well, they're in Vegas. I have seen some of the odds have the Edmonton Oilers as the favorites next.
Okay, fine. You can. I mean, look, the Niners are the favorite for the NFL for the Super Bowl. I get it, but the Chiefs are at least at the second.
She did list one of the 12 teams that have a chance to win the cup next year.
It's not one of 12. They're the defending champs.
Right.
They're automatically a contender.
All I can say is I'm glad the Panthers took the easier route and won the Stanley Cup instead of going down 3-0, then coming back tying at 3-3 and then losing. That's almost harder than winning the Stanley Cup.
That's what yeah. Like, what kind of stupidity is that?
What type of roundabout thinking is that?
Is she from Edmonton?
No, they just said an NHL beat writer. She writes
probably from Canada, probably from Edmonton.
Let's go see. You want me to dig deeper? It's just
because that makes no sense. You down 3-0. But you come back to make it 3-3 and then you lose in heartbreaking. No, you should have never been down 3-0 in the first place. How about that?
Let's Google her first and see what we got going on. We need to see these credentials.
Yeah, I need to know. I need a little bit more context.
Oh, okay. No, never mind. That was just me. Boston's Sarah Sivian. So apparently she's from originally Boston, which makes a lot of sense why she's so angry at the Panthers for ruining her season.
So one lived and covered the Bills and when talking about Tua, and then this person lived in Boston talking about hockey, covering the Bruins.
She's covered the Bruins. Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes more sense now.
She has written some articles for the New York Times though. So
that don't mean that.
Yeah, it could be a contributing artist. But no, she's also covered the Carolina Hurricanes, which also means another reason why she probably hates.
She really hates the Panthers.
Yeah, the Bruins and the Hurricanes, 1-2 punch on that one. So, yep, I'm trying to check out her Instagram and see what her Instagram is all about. And not for because I want to see what she looks. I want to see. Oh, she's hanging out with Whitty apparently. Wait a second. Oh, okay. I see. She's one of those. Okay, I see what it is.
She's one of those.
Yeah. Okay. She's just a overall sports reporter, basically, but she has covered the Bruins and she has been a beat writer for the Bruins and the Hurricanes. So, all right, you want some good ridiculousness and silliness that actually makes sense?
I'm always down for that.
Here's some numbers. In the year that Lionel Messi has joined Inter Miami, listen to how much this team and their revenues have grown. When he joined the team, the value is $600 million.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked.
Can you guess what the team is worth to this day now with Lionel Messi after a year of being on the team?
1.8 billion.
God, well, I would say close, but 1.03 billion. So $1 billion. So
all he did was raise the value $400 million.
That's all he did.
That's all he did in a year.
The revenue for Inter Miami before $60 million a year. You know what it is now?
236.
$200 million a year. That's revenue.
Yeah. Okay. So he's tripled it.
This is the pretty one. If you like that. Instagram followers.
What
about the IG? They had 1 million followers.
Oh, they've got to at least have like 25 million followers now.
17 million followers.
Okay.
Not to mention, Inter Miami has won Leagues Cup. They are the favorites to win MLS Cup this year, and they have the most points in MLS this year.
Okay.
Quite the crestfall for Inter Miami.
So, what do you think would be the bigger award for Messi this year? Copa or MLS?
I'll say, and this I know it's going to sound crazy, so don't murder me, don't kill me.
I know what you're gonna say.
No, don't murder me or kill me.
I know what you're gonna say, and I know your reasoning.
Okay, so you know the reasoning.
It actually it's a sensible reason. It makes sense.
If Messi gets healthy and is a big time part, maybe even the main
It doesn't
part
even matter. It doesn't matter.
of Inter Miami making a run and winning the MLS Cup, where he contributes a little more than he did
Which one would be more?
with the Copa America. It's always country over club. Okay, so yes, but what would mean more to Messi? Coming here, what he's meant to build, what he's hoping to build. If he goes through the playoffs and gets the golden boot in the MLS and is just this overwhelming factor of why Inter Miami won their first MLS Cup, and he's a part owner of the team, I could see the argument where this MLS Cup is a little more special for those reasons.
The reason I thought you were gonna say is because he's won the others. He's won other trophies before, so this is the only one he hasn't won. So he could put that in his resume. Like he's won at La Liga. He's won at
He didn't win at PSG. Oh yeah, he did win at PSG.
He won league. He won league.
Ligue 1. Yeah.
Yeah, he won a league. Huh?
He's won a gold medal.
He's won Copa. He's won Copa. He's won
Champions League.
Yeah.
He's won World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be the only thing he is yet to capture.
That would be big. You know how MLS would sell so many merchandise if he's holding the MLS trophy.
And then he could get that extension and come back another year, and it could be his farewell tour.
I don't think
it's not his farewell tour.
It's basically he'll say if he wants an extension by saying if he wants to continue playing down here.
I think I know the timeline now. It's starting to come clear to me.
Really?
Especially if he wins the MLS Cup this year, comes back that extra extension year at Inter Miami, helps raise the value of his own pocketbooks, but also Inter Miami. Then finishes out his career back at Newell's Old Boys in Argentina, where he started his career. That also buys him time to get into the World Cup, and he lets the chips where they fall where they may at the World Cup. Perfect circle right there. You end with the team that you started with in Argentina, and you get one more World Cup go at it. And you also help boost the team that you are a part owner of. That sounds like a very logical timeline for me.
I like it.
Now you got to stay healthy. You got it. Literally, his ankle was the size of a grapefruit the other night.
Dude, that was a nasty.
He was crying, and I thought it was just because he wasn't playing.
I thought he had, originally when I saw him when he went down the second time, because the first time we saw he got tackled and it hit his ankle, his foot, and the whole nine. But the second one, I was like, oh, this is a non-contact injury. Like,
yeah, I didn't think it was contact.
There was no contact whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was an Achilles or he pulled a hamstring, the whole nine. So because when he went to the bench and was crying, I'm like, oh man, this guy's severely hurt. It's don't tell me it's an Achilles, because it's like you might as well retire. And then they showed the ice, like he was getting ice, and then they showed his foot. The foot was bigger than the soccer ball.
Yeah, it was huge, man. Oh goodness.
I'm like, oh, and ain't no way you could run on that. Like, what were you trying to run on that? How were you trying to run on that?
It's crazy, man. It's bad. And like that's why I say I don't expect to see him until maybe the last game or two of MLS.
I don't think you're gonna see that man till the end of August, maybe September.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because it's been a long time since I've seen a swelling like that.
That's a serious injury. If that happened to me, I don't know if I could even look down. It'd freak me out too much. Whew.
But he's still able to hobble along to go celebrate and lift up the cup.
You got to do that, man. The adrenaline's flowing. You just won one for your country. Crazy in the stadium. And a lot of people there that are supposed to be there, not supposed to be there.
7,000.
Keep moving, baby. Keep moving. We're going to finish out the show next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
not 2 days price.
Just a couple of minutes. Miami Heat Summer League going to get underway. They're going to be taking on the Golden State Warriors. It's looking like they're going to play the winners of the game that is on right now that they just changed the score of that I can't catch.
Clippers are beating Memphis 92-83.
Thanks for changing the score,
They had to show the highlight.
ESPN dopes. Appreciate them. Marlins.
No, I'm sorry. It's 93-92 Memphis. I was looking at it wrong.
So Memphis up on the Clippers, 93-92. Winner gets the winner of the Heat and the Warriors, which is going to start after this game. So Heat in just a couple of minutes going to get started, see if they can continue their winning ways in the Summer League. And who knows?
How much money do they win? Do you know?
I do not know.
I'll check.
The Marlins, though, they are up 3-2 on the Mets. They're in the bottom of the sixth. So it seems like that's going to be a tight game. Jazz Chisholm did hit that 3-run home run earlier in the game. Brian De La Cruz also has a hit. Vidal Brujan, he has 3 for 3 on the day. Woo, and Xavier Edwards is 2 for 3 on the day. Trevor Rogers had a pretty good outing, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. Now it's Declan Cronin that is pitching for Miami. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, keeping an eye on everything that has happened earlier today. FS1 race.
Yeah, they do get paid for the.
They got to, yeah. But for winning today, they may get a little some extra.
Maybe.
Millennia. Oscar Paistri, he won his first F1 race, the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Him and his team.
And Xander Schauffele
won his second major this year.
And that was over there at the Open.
He won the PGA and he won the Open.
So we got some good stuff going on. Team USA going to be back in action tomorrow against Germany. That is at 3 o'clock. And Inter Miami, they've got some League Cup play coming up Saturday. So about basically in a week against Puebla. Lionel Messi not going to be playing. I don't know if they've officially ruled him out, but he is not going to be playing.
Just rule him out for the next month, man.
You got to. You got to. There's just nothing else you can do. Totally just got to rule him out. 305-567-056. You also can jump up on Twitch and the YouTube. The weather, I don't really know, man. But I got nothing crazy right now. I might go to Wynwood. I might just hang out in my neighborhood. I might just watch this Serena Williams, Venus Williams, King Richard, or whatever it's called.
Are you just talking about King Richard, the movie?
Yeah. I might just do that. I got nothing.
There's really nothing going on, bro. Like, this is the last weekend where there's not going to be some type of NFL coverage or live coverage.
I wonder what Shaq Barrett's doing right now.
Chilling at home, probably in Tampa, relaxing.
Spending time with the family?
Yeah.
I mean, he's done. He's not working right now. Not going to be working anymore. Don't see him coming back to any team.
You might get a call.
You think?
You might get a call.
Like mid-season or something? Mid-season,
somebody, if he keeps himself in shape, why not?
I don't know, man. It seems like he kind of already wanted to retire from the beginning.
That's what I'm saying, but, who knows, man? What you think is going to happen doesn't turn out the way you thought it would. So he might think retirement life is going to be great, but then after a couple of weeks or a month, and then the wife is nagging, the kids are bothersome. I need to get back into the facilities.
You do see that all the time, and that's not just in football or in sports. You see that in all walks of life. Somebody retires and says, "Oh, I'm going to be busy." In that first month or two, I'm busy, and then they're like, "I got a job." And you're like, "Wait, I thought you were retired." Yeah, when all is cracked up to be.
Right.
For me though, when I retire, I'm done. Done. I got beach and beer, man. Whatever else comes.
I dig it.
I mean, like Big Lynn, I guess like mother like son. Big Lynn retired. Never once was there a whisper of going back to work, volunteering to do stuff, nothing, chilling, living life. And I think those genes are strong in me that when I'm done, I'm done. Like none of this. Oh, but you can go back and work for a little bit and make a whole lot of money. No, it's just too much. Summer League is poorly attended right now. Oh, no, wait. I'm looking at, there's 2 different Summer League games going on.
Yeah, one Summer League is just, I guess every team's got to play 5 games. So this is just to fill out the rest of the round robin action. But the one that's on ESPN between the Clippers and Memphis,
not super packed,
is the playoffs. It's the first, it's semifinal number 1.
So, but it's not. super
I
packed.
think. Well, here's the thing with Vegas. I think with the Team USA already leaving to Abu Dhabi, and most of the teams and the big name players are done with the summer league. This is it. Tomorrow's the last summer league night, so they might be people. And also, it's noon, bro. It's 12:47 over there.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
You know, people are just probably getting up or heading straight to.
Going to bed.
No, some people's either getting to their room right now from partying. Some people are going to bed from partying. Some people are getting ready to go to the pool party. That's happening right now. They're probably going to Marquise or MGM, the MGM pool.
That's
all
the
of that.
funny thing that you learn. I mean, I didn't live in Vegas, but lived in South Florida. That pool parties are different. Like a pool party here isn't like you tell me. Hey,
No,
we're having a
pool party out west is a pool party.
See, I was told you go. Hey, we got a pool party. I'm gonna come in like some swim trunks, some slide-on shoes, maybe a tank top, and have a case of beer. That's not how it is here. When you go to a pool party, you like have to dress up and look nice, and there's all types of craziness and stuff like that.
I mean, it's not nobody's telling you wear a tux now.
Nah, it's gonna get a little hot, you know. But
You don't wear a gown,
I'm
but yeah,
sure-
you gotta come. You gotta come with the right slides. You gotta come. Make sure you got the
coordinated.
right shorts. Right shirt. Maybe get the nice kicks.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
not gonna get ruined. Yeah.
gotta look clean. Getting in the pool is totally totally on. You got to be ready for that. Also, I'm sure. What's the nicest hotel in Vegas now?
It depends, bro.
Yeah,
It's still. I mean, I love the Bellagio, first class,
Bellagio. Okay,
first class, first rate. They don't f around.
I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been to Vegas since I was 16 years old. So, and
Damn,
yeah,
it's a long time, bro.
I know. I don't get into all that anymore, or I never really did.
You
Not
missing
my
out.
scene. Not my scene, man.
That's Vlad's Playhouse.
I know. Hey, and I don't knock it. I mean, I'm sure if I went, I'd have a great time.
You know what I love about Vegas? 4 blocks of just craziness. That's it.
It's just a circus.
It's a circus. One of the best things is walking the Vegas Strip wasted trying to find your room. Hey, that's the hotel.
I'm just guessing everybody on the strip is pretty hammered at a certain time.
Man, I left Dre's nightclub one time, and I had a flight to catch in 2 hours.
I got lucky.
But I missed my ride and everything, so I had to walk from the nightclub to the hotel. Oh, bro. Put it this way, I had to pay for a later flight.
Ooh,
Yeah, I wasn't making it.
Nothing is more painful than paying.
It's all right,
for
though.
a
It's all right. It was all
late
right.
flight.
It was
No,
all right.
nothing's worse. I've
That's
done
all right. I was in a rush to go home.
Oh man,
But
it
yeah.
costs a lot of money.
Cost a little bit, but it was all right. It was worth it. I needed to sleep. I needed to get some rest. I was done.
Man,
Done.
I'm told to go if I ever go. The Double Down Saloon is a legendary dive bar in Vegas.
Okay.
That's probably where I would.
You're
be.
probably an old Vegas guy.
Oh, it's got. I've been to Old Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, you're an
It's-
old Vegas.
What is
guy.
that? Fremont Street.
Fremont Street. Yeah.
With it's got the roof on it and everything.
Fremont.
My friends that lived there used to go there all the time because they said it was cheaper drinks.
You know what the best thing I could say about Fremont reminds me of Fort Lauderdale, while the Strip reminds me of South Beach.
Wait, Fremont reminds you of Fort Lauderdale, while the
Mhm.
Strip reminds you of South Beach. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I got caught up looking at Double Down Saloon is near the MGM Grand, so it's kind of near the Strip. The Luxor's still there.
All of them still there, man.
Circus.
Circus.
I never went there.
I've been there.
Is it worth it?
I mean, it all depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sleep and enjoy the the hotel, I wouldn't even suggest it. If it's just a quick place for you to get a shower, brush your teeth, wash your face, iron your clothes, and get ready for the next event, and you want to save money, knock yourself out.
Okay. I just love Vegas. From when I was younger, just walking around, just marveling at the sheer size of the buildings. It's like, whoa.
Literally, I mean, when you're young, you really like, oh damn, I don't have to leave this casino at all. Like everything's at your disposal.
I love the buffets too.
Who
When I was
doesn't
young,
like-
when I
who
was in
doesn't-
high school.
Who doesn't love Vegas buffets?
I know. Like if I go to Vegas, and I might be going one of these days next year, maybe. I definitely want a breakfast buffet, man.
Okay.
That's it. I'm probably gonna just stay out and party all night, and then roll in at whatever time the breakfast buffet opens, and just wolf down pancakes and waffles and French toast and just whatever else, man.
You go
Drink a
ahead, man.
lot of apple juice. You gotta hydrate because it's gonna be a long night.
Definitely gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night. You have a long night ahead of you, Vlad? Or are you good?
I'm good, bro.
I know, man. I think this is one of those Sundays where Nothing too crazy. Like I said, I might run out to Wynwood if I get a wild hair and maybe go to brewery or maybe go to Gramps and just kind of hang out. But I don't know. Haven't eaten in a couple days. Maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, get some food. Did you
well,
sleep?
maybe,
You need
right?
some sleep, bro. I remember
I did sleep a little bit last night. The concert got over early, and I wanted to go more out, but I decided.
Oh, so how was the concert?
It was cool, man.
Was it packed?
No.
Okay.
It was about 200, 300 people there. I thought the guys were good. They were cool. They're a newer band, so they didn't have a lot to pull from. But no, it was fun. It was cool. And then just got back, and I was going to try to go to my neighborhood dive bar, Bob's Your Uncle. But then I said, you know what? I don't need another beer. I don't need anything. I'm just going to go to bed. So
nice.
Maybe tonight, Bob's Your Uncle, maybe Giuseppe and Nathan, maybe Wynwood, maybe just watching King Richard and seeing Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad get beat up again. I don't know. Could be interesting.
Well, it'll be fun. Well, I'll
wish you
be
the best, babe.
I will be back on here tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning,
10 to 2. It's filling in for Frog Boy Marcos as he's with Channing up in Tampa as Channing's doing his comedy show.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was just on Sunday.
Well,
apparently it's been extended.
It's tomorrow. It's today, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just know that I'm filling in for the next 3 days. So.
All right, Vlad.
So I'm filling in for the next 3 days, but I'll see you Thursday, my guy. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, but
Thursday,
I'll definitely
10:15ish in the parking lot.
Yes, sir.
Because I got to wait for Jensen's to open up at 10. That's why we're leaving 10:15.
There you go.
We got it. Officer Perez, we'll be looking for you. Let's go Marlins. Let's go Heat. Is there anybody else we need to cheer for today, Vlad?
Hey, man, everybody go into training camp, whatever team, whatever city, fan base you have everybody come in safe and healthy, and let's get ready for this NFL season.
And let's go, Vlad. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
Text WQAM on the Kendall